Welcome back to the Exponential. My name is RSquared. I'll be your host today. Yeah, there's something a little off with this picture. I'm sure you're wondering. It was a frantic hurry to get here. Oh, I still didn't clean them. I meant to clean them. Noticed I was missing like 10 things. Ran away, had to start all over again. Sat down, just barely got here in time. All right, we're here for a thrilling matchup as we get set to see the Detroit Lions defend the den against the Washington Commanders, as the Commanders try to say hail to King Jaden Daniels, and as he tries to general his way. That was terrible. I'm still bad at cleaning my glasses. This is not a good material for sure. So I mean, it's been a wild build-up to this game, I will say. I mean, the divisional round game previous to this one, I'm surprised the game still isn't turned on. There's a lot going on over here at the Exponential Studios. Camera isn't placed right. The game isn't actually on. I don't know what's up with that. I honestly don't know what's happening. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. It's very blurry, but it might just be that I didn't clean my glasses properly. Yeah, as I said, a wild build-up. We just finished Chiefs-Texans just a few minutes ago. The Chiefs are heading to the AFC Championship game for the 7th consecutive year, which I didn't know how old I was until that happened, and then I went, wow, I'm ancient. Because I remember the first time the Chiefs made the AFC Championship game with Mahomes and Reed as the duo there. And this is year 7 of the Chiefs' epic reign over the NFL. And all things considering, they've done a fantastic job. So congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. They got bailed out a couple times by the refs, but ultimately they played really tough to beat Houston in that game. So yeah, they played really well. Very valiant job by the Texans. They held Kansas City to basically as good of a game as you could get out of the Chiefs. They just couldn't bring it offensively. Defensively speaking, though, the Texans brought the heat. DeMeco Ryans did a great job, a commendable season for the Houston Texans in DeMeco Ryans' second year as the coach. They still have not made it past the divisional round in their 2 seasons with C.J. Stroud at the helm for the Texans, but they plan on making it there very, very soon. As the Texans just seem one piece away, and maybe if they had Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell ready for this one, this might have been a different story for the Houston Texans, but instead we have the Chiefs leading by 9 and winning the game after the punter ran out of the back of the end zone for a safety, which pretty much just ended it. That was just a way to knock off clock there, give the bettors something to cheer for. Hey, we hit the spread. It's like the Texans covered, Not that I know what the spread was. I can't bet. Anyway, ahead of this one, the Washington Commanders are coming in on a red-hot streak, and you heard it right here. It's been a phenomenal time if you're a Commanders fan. Jaden Daniels has come in clutch so many times, as we can see by our very own commentary, where we had the Washington Commanders hosting the Atlanta Falcons. We have that down in the VOD section of the channel. You can go check that out. The Commanders pretty much dominated that game until Michael Penix came up with a bit of a last-second surge, but in the end, it came down to Zach Ertz making an incredible play in overtime on a pass from Jaden Daniels that ended the Falcons' run. So Washington won that one. Marcus Mariota can lead comeback drives too. He's an elite leader on this Washington Commanders team, and he has been for a really long time. I say really long time, I meant in the NFL. He's been a leader for a very long time, and then in Washington this year, he's done a great job mentoring Jaden Daniels. He led that comeback against the Dallas Cowboys for the victory on a touchdown pass to Terry McLaurin. The Commanders beat the Eagles the week before that, the Saints the week before that in last-second fashion. The last time they actually won a game by more than one score was against the Tennessee Titans on December 1st. The score was 42-19. That's also the game that started this hot streak for the Commanders, who have since won 6 consecutive games, because against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we saw Zane Gonzalez doink in the game-winning kick on a clutch drive by Jaden Daniels and co. to win this one. And now they're playing the only team that might be more clutch than the Washington Commanders. It's the Detroit Lions. The Lions, I mean, you can say what you will. They're 15-2. I don't disagree with you, friend. I don't want to see them in the Super Bowl. either. The Lions have been the best team in the NFL, pretty much hands down, with their only 2 losses, one of which coming to the Bills, and then the other coming in week 2 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which they had a chance to be facing here. Instead, they're playing the team that beat them. It's the Washington Commanders. These 2 teams haven't faced in the regular season, so it's a first look at both these teams. Really, it could go either way. My prediction is Lions final score 38-28, but that's just because of the overall domination that we've seen out of the Detroit Lions throughout their time here. I'm still very confused about what's happening with my TV because I still don't see the game. So I'm hoping that things are going right up there, but I'm not entirely certain because the game, it's 1 a.m., but I don't see whether this is actually the game.
I just wasn't ever sure it would happen. And to see the hard work and the long...
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. we might have to... I mean, honestly, if the feed doesn't come up, I might just be like, okay, Ravens Bills tomorrow. But this is... I'm very confused to what's happening in this one. Very the game's not on for me. I don't know what's happening. I'm very confused. So we're just gonna stick it out for a little bit, but I have absolutely no idea what's happening. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I guess I'll do the build up anyway. If the game comes on, the game comes on, but it's already 1:01, and I'm not seeing anyone. So I'm a little confused as to what's happening here. I'm going to turn off the TV and turn it back on. A little bit of technical difficulties. So this Commanders team has been largely just Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels leads the team in passing. He leads the team in right. Yeah, but I don't have the commercial. It's showing me some. I'm on the international thing, so I have no idea what's happening. It's showing me weird stuff. It's not a commercial even. And so Jaden Daniels leads the team in both passing and rushing. He finished the year on the ground with 800 yards and leading the team. While on the other side, on the passing side of things, he finished with 3,568 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Terry McLaurin finished as the only receiver on the Commanders to cap 1,000 yards. But late in the year, they found some little bit of energy from their other wide receivers, the Wizard of Oz, as we called him against Atlanta. Olamide Zaccheaus came up big there. De'Ami Brown has shown some stuff for Washington as of late. I mean, Zach Ertz has showed up pretty big as well. I mean, this Commanders team has found weapons where there wasn't originally, and that can largely be contributed to Dan Quinn and the turnaround he made. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, we'll see if that ends up happening because currently I don't have game feed, so I don't know what's going on. Working it out now while also trying to be a good commentator. So Detroit's the favorite to win this one. I agree with that one. I had Detroit winning 38-28. Jared Goff finished the year with 4,600 passing yards, so an absolute record-breaking year for... All right, cool. I do have it, but I see a very, very blurry Tom Brady. We're good. I mean, oh, there we go. All right, we're all cleared out and back at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. We're ready to go for the NFL Divisional Playoffs. Game 1 just concluded. Kansas City defeats the Houston Texans to advance to the conference championship. We have one here today. The Detroit Lions hosting the Washington Commanders. Jared Goff against rookie sensation Jaden Daniels. 2 very different career paths meeting up. Goff had to work for it. Daniels has been shoved into what seemed like an impossible situation, as both were actually, and they've both thrived. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions players wearing all Honolulu blue. It might seem like they're in Honolulu, Hawaii, because that's how easy this could be for Detroit. Assuming they play their cards right. If they put fair pressure on Jaden Daniels, don't let him escape the pocket. They keep him, make him throw the ball. This is something that Jaden Daniels reminds me a bit of Lamar Jackson in his early years. If you can rush his process when he's throwing the ball, he might not get it off. He might throw an interception. One of the biggest things that Jaden Daniels has done this season is being able to extend the play. If you take away his ability to extend the play and try and keep him in the pocket, there's a really good chance that Jaden Daniels might slip up. He might make a bad decision. because he's one of those antsy rushers that wants to get out of the pocket. For what it's worth, Tampa did a really nice job against Washington containing Jaden Daniels. They stopped the big plays for Washington. They really defended the downfield very well, but what they couldn't do was keep Daniels from delivering to Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin was the most dominant receiver on the field, 7 receptions for 89 yards and a touchdown. He was just getting the ball to his receivers very easily. The Lions have counters to that. They have Kirby Joseph. Me trying to remember other Lions defenders really quickly. They have Alex Anzalone if he's playing. I mean, the Lions injuries have been a big story in this one, so I'm just going to change the subject real quick. I mean, in this one, they're already missing several key members for this game against the Washington Commanders. But they are getting one big key back. That's right. They're getting back Knuckles, right? It's Sonic and Knuckles? I got all confused from the most recent Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I'm like, did they say Sonic and Shadow or Sonic and Knuckles? I think it's Knuckles. So they're getting Knuckles back to the comedy duo of power running back and speedy running back. That's right. The Hedgehogs reunite as Jahmyr Gibbs, who's had a career last couple of games, including a all-out barn burner that he put off against Minnesota with his 4-touchdown performance to end the season. And, of course, David Montgomery, the power rusher. He was their short yardage guy before he missed the majority of the final games of the year. However, Jahmyr Gibbs only out-touchdowned him by those 4 games the 4 touchdowns that he scored in that final game against Minnesota. So the Lions are very powerful coming into this one. Jack Campbell has been fantastic. Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Alex Anzalone, Terrion Arnold, Carlton Davis III. I mean, the list goes on and on. Defensive line, Alim McNeil, DJ Reader, Levi Onwuzurike. That's right, I said it right. I mean, they have so much talent all around the secondary that Detroit actually has the ability to put a spy on Jaden Daniels. I expect that to be Jack Campbell's job, potentially Alex Anzalone's job. You're going to see a spy on him at all times. They're going to be watching Jaden Daniels, keeping him from escaping the pocket. They're not going to want to see that happening if you're the Lions defense. And they have the secondary to be able to shut down Terry McLaurin. So in all senses, this could be a very easy win for the Lions. But here's why it might not be. Because the Washington Commanders have everything it takes to be an incredibly successful franchise. And that's a star quarterback. Jaden Daniels has lifted this team to new levels. He basically single-handedly carried the Commanders to a victory over Tampa in the wild card round. He could essentially do the same thing here today. If he decides to go beast mode on them, it's very possible that Jaden Daniels could lead the Commanders to an incredible game and ultimately a spot in the conference championship rounds, which who knows, they might get an incredibly favorable matchup and end up against the Philadelphia Eagles team that they beat earlier in the year. I'm not going to mention the fact that they beat them without Jalen Hurts, and the Eagles defense performed. I mean, didn't play badly. He was probably the most I've seen the Eagles allow, but they also got a ton of turnovers in that game. It's like, 4 turnovers for the Commanders, and they still won the game. And the Lions are the only other team to have done that this year against the Houston Texans. That was one of those games where you remember exactly where you were. I know where I was. I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. On defense for the Commanders, though, they have guys who have come from veteran places. They're veteran guys who've been around the league a long, long time, and these guys are going to help those younger guys really contain Jared Goff. They're going to try and drop back into coverage. Goff isn't a runner. I mean, he doesn't need that spy on him. So obviously we know Bobby Wagner is going to be flying around the field. This guy's a long-time veteran. He's still producing big-time numbers for the Commanders. Marshawn Lattimore is back into the field. He kind of got cooked a little bit by Mike Evans last week. But this time he's got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, basically the same receiver. So we might see Marshawn struggle a little bit, but he might not as well. We also might see Marshawn Lattimore be able to lock down. And that's kind of the goal for the Commanders. Shut down Amon-Ra St. Brown. As for Jameson Williams, I look to no one else but Jeremy Chin to cover Jameson Williams. I know you might be thinking he's a safety. He's not going to be one-on-one. You're right. But Jameson Williams is the downfield guy for the Detroit Lions. That's been his job. If there's a player 50 yards down the field, I can assure you it's Jameson Williams. Jeremy Chin's job has to be to keep up with the speedster. If Lattimore can lock down Amon-Ra and Jeremy Chin can help stop the force that is Jamison Williams in the deep pass game, there's a chance that the Commanders might be able to shut down the passing game. As for the rushing game, the Commanders have 2, maybe even 3 elite linebackers and a pretty good defensive line as well. Their defensive line, Darren Payne, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, Cleland Farrell, and Jerjon Newton. They've all been very solid run stoppers. They didn't do a great job getting any pressure in the game against Tampa, but they did, without the blitz, his help, of course, but they did do a good job stopping the run against Tampa. If they can continue to do that, potentially get some resistance on that O-line of Detroit, one of the best in the league, of course. I mean, there's a lot of components here, which could go either way. The other thing you look to the Commanders for, Frankie Louvu, Michael Walker, or McCall Walker, and Bobby Wagner. Their job, strictly going to be Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. If they can stop those 2 guys, it's going to be tough to see the Lions being able to make an actual case to win this game. I mean, if the Commanders can completely strangle this Lions offense, which we haven't seen anyone do yet, which is why I think it's unlikely. But ultimately, the way to win for both these teams, the Lions contain Jaden Daniels. The Commanders stifle this Lions offense. That's how they win these games, as we're about to get kicked off here from Detroit. I will say it just before the game kicks off. Everything I've said, totally irrelevant. It comes down to Dan Quinn versus Dan Campbell, and we're underway here at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. And that one will be a kickoff out of bounds. So an interesting start to this game. Zane Gonzalez boots it out of bounds. So he kind of became a bit of a celebrity this offseason, or this last weekend, with his OCD that he showed. Everyone was saying, oh, he was so nervous for the kick, but he finally made it. And he hit social media about it saying, no, I was not nervous. He was defending his honor and also spreading awareness at it at the same time. So congratulations to Zane Gonzalez, but not a great start to this game for Mr. Gonzalez, as the Lions will get the ball in very favorable field position at their own 40-yard line. Good starting position for Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions. Sam Laporta in motion. David Montgomery is the back. And the hand goes to Knuckles, who will go ahead for about 2 yards for the Detroit Lions. It is Dan versus Dan. And that's kind of what makes this game very important, is that these are 2 of the very bravest coaches in the NFL. These guys have very unique coaching styles that we do not see from your average guy on the streets. This is a matchup that could not possibly have been any better, honestly, which is why I picked it, is because you got 2 guys who are willing to go for it on 4th down. I mean, I saw someone that said it's going to be like oh my goodness, Dante Fowler Jr. I don't even know who got the handoff. I saw the snap. I was about to start commentating, and Dante Fowler was already there with him. That's a loss of about 5. It was David Montgomery. But Dante Fowler Jr. just slips through and nails David Montgomery in the backfield. That'll go for a loss of 5. So on 3rd down, the Lions have the 4th best percentage in the NFL with a 48%. Goff looks to throw. Commanders rush 4. They get some pressure. He'll throw over the middle. It's incomplete. Heading to Tim Patrick. Marshawn Lattimore in coverage. Good job by Lattimore. That was very impressive by the Commanders' defense. They covered the run exactly as it could be. I know I didn't mention Dante Fowler Jr., but he's in the mix for the Commanders. Dante Fowler is one of those linebackers that's been tasked with stopping the run. He's more of an edge rusher, but everyone's got a role in this game if they're going to want to have a chance to win this one. So Jack Fox will be punting it away. I don't expect a fake punt to start the game, but you never know. So here comes Jack Fox to punt it off to Washington. And it's not a bad punt, and it'll soar over the head and out at about the 12, 13-yard line, depending on where they spot it. They're at 20. The 20 refs? All right. So the 20-yard line will be where the Washington Commanders are to start their drive. That was like 8 yards off there. All right, what are my words? I saw them come in, but I didn't realize. It's true that. Super. What? Wow. De facto, wow. Okay. I can already tell you I'm not going to get them. There's no way. I was just reading the words the Pepper gave me. I don't think I'm going to be able to get supermarket. And Zach Ertz will get about 5 yards and a quick little dump off to him from Jaden Daniels. So already more yards than the Lions got on their entire opening drive. So the Commanders made a powerful defensive statement to start off here. We'll see if they can do the same here on offense. 2nd and 4. Robinson's the back. It's a screen to Terry McLaurin. McLaurin has some space, and he'll get the first down, but he takes a shot at the end of the play there. There's an injured Lion. Down in the play, it's Robertson, Mick Robertson. Yeah, it was a tough hit. He got sandwiched in between McLaurin, and I believe that was Jack Campbell as well. So concern on Lions fans' faces for a Mick Robinson. 13-10 to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 when play resumes. Oh, man, wild game in the first round. Kansas City just dominated the trenches. Well, I mean, I guess I can kind of say that because of the 8 sacks. It almost seemed like, I feel like that was the game I commentated on. No, I've seen this one. No, I saw it last Monday. I've seen this one. The scriptwriter put it on a replay. I already saw this. The teams were a little different, but yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to get those words. Let me do some research on this commercial break. During this commercial, we'll discuss during these commercials. What should we discuss? Upcoming divisional games on the national championship coming up. And I'll also be responding to comments because I have another minute. All right, we got this. Also, I'm not sure if my sound is okay. Does my sound good to you? Check, 1, 2. How am I going to do frying pan? Like, what? It's going to have, like, the most out-of-hand metaphor ever. That got out of hand fast. He cooked him in a frying pan. Jaden Daniels. Yeah. All right. So yeah, national championship, rest of the divisional round, predictions, and that, I guess, yeah, and then I'll comment on you guys' stuff as well. Dreaming of a white Christmas. Got that song stuck in my head. It's just the guy's voice, you know. I'm dreaming of a white. I can't say the rest. Copyright, you know. I'm just gonna say white summer. So we see Mick Robinson. It looked, he was in obvious pain. Not sure what the injury was because I was not looking. Yeah, love it when commentators say that, huh? Brian Robinson in motion in the backfield, and it'll be another screen to Dyami Brown. I mean, he was looking that way the entire time. I'm surprised the Detroit defense wasn't paying a little more attention. There. All right. Let's see. Second and 3 coming up for the Washington Commanders. After the Dyami Brown screen, Jaden Daniels trying to orchestrate this offense amidst the crowd noise here in Detroit. Lions bring heavy blitz. He'll dump it to Eckler. Austin Eckler making some moves. He's down to the 40-yard line, and he'll be tackled by his own guy at about the 36.5-yard line. A beautifully executed play by the Washington Commanders. I mean, Eckler did what you were supposed to do, which is if you blow your block, you got to get open, and you got to get open fast. You got to get that check down. And we just saw a little bit of what made Austin Eckler so special with his days with the Los Angeles Chargers, which was just his receiving. He wasn't even that good of a running back. Handoff goes to McNichols, and McNichols is stuffed. McNichols just got hit from both angles, and he'll maybe get a yard. I'm still looking for stuff. Man, these words are hard. I'm trying to think of a situation in which I could use them. Jaden Daniels, play action. He's 4 of 4 so far on the day. Scratch that. He's 4 of 5. He goes incomplete hidden towards Austin Eckler. That's what happens when the commentator says stuff. It's just better if we stay silent. Like, the players have no idea, but if we talk, that usually means something's gone wrong. This is going to be hard. I'm trying. All right, 3rd and 9. Austin Eckler in motion out of the backfield for the Commanders. And whoa, heavy motion. It's a free play. They call it dead. Oh, boo. Boo. They should have let him play. Unless it's false start, they should have let him play. It was false start. All right. Fine. I still would have let it play out, Giving the Commanders fans some excitement, all yelling at their TV, free play, free play. Dan Quinn thought it was on the Lions as well. Let's see what happened here. Pardon? No. That was a neutral zone infraction if I've ever seen one. I mean, I guess it could have been encroachment, but they didn't call encroachment. And you see Tyler Byadaz is arguing with the official there about the call. I mean, that was not. I didn't see it. He moved his head. He was just looking. I mean, that's legal. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what they called, I think the D lineman moved first. I am not a fan of the call there. Daniels looks to throw while they're in an AT&T commercial. He dumps it off to the tight end who extends for the first down, and he'll get there. A beautiful play by Jamison Crowder. What an effort. And every Commander plays a role in this one. Well, actually, we'll see where they mark him. I thought he got it with the extension. They're going to mark him a little bit short. Good effort from Jamison Crowder, though. The Commanders there wasn't even a question. They are lining up just as they were before. They're going for it. Without even a hesitation, they're going for it. Marcus Mariota's in the game. Hey. Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened there? Dan? Mr. Quinn? The play didn't work. I mean, Marcus Mariota was in the game. I saw him, but it almost looked like he dropped the snap, was going to lateral it backwards after, and he just didn't get the chance to. And, yeah, all right. The Commanders have embarrassed themselves on 4th down. I'm sure we'll see plenty more of that here today. It's the Detroit Lions take it over on downs at their own 29-yard line. How are we feeling about the new Captain America movie coming out? He might not be the original Captain America, but he sure is the new one. And we got another Hulk. Again, not the original Hulk, but a new Hulk. So in this era of new Avengers, what are we thinking? Captain America Brave New World, we going to see it? We're going to see it or not? I'm going to see it. You guys going to see it? Oh, damn, looks like something Cowboys would do. I'm sensing a salty Cowboys fan. Yeah, I mean, I gotta see it. I've been in the franchise this long. I mean, sure, last few movies, Eternals, have been kind of bad. No, that was a while ago. I still hold a grudge for that movie. Well, I gotta see it, but if they ever try to pull out Eternals ever again, yeah, sorry. If they make a sequel to that movie, it's gonna be, yeah, we're just not gonna watch that. I mean, apparently some people liked it, but I thought it was dumb. That was probably, in my opinion, still the worst movie that Marvel has made. Last good Marvel movie was the Spider-Man movie. That one was just funny. That was really funny. And I mean, obviously, they had to find a way to make Ned a bad guy. If you've seen the comics, sorry, I shouldn't have spoiled that. Never mind. You heard nothing. You heard nothing. But yeah, they they had to find a way to get the other Spider-Man universes involved. So obviously, it was great to see the funniness of kind of the collapse of the Spider-Man universe, and they're going to rebuild it however they want, basically, with someone may or may not becoming a villain. Oops. It's okay. The comics are great. You should read them. You don't know what I'm talking about. I haven't read them. My dad told me. I haven't read them. My dad told me. The first thing he said, he's like, "Oh, so this is how they're gonna make blank a blank." Well, my expectations have been lowered so much that this can't just. I mean, yeah. You see Dan Quinn talking to Marcus Mariota on the sideline after that one. Didn't really seem disappointed in him. He just see Brian Robinson. I think who is that? Brian Robinson? Yeah, Brian Robinson and Jaden Daniels seem to have a bit of a confusion there. So it had to have been something between them. I'm not quite sure what the call was there. Jared Goff drops back deep. He throws deep. He's got Jameson Williams. And if they can, they're going to abuse that all day and half the night because he's up against the rookie Mike Summersteel, who's been good, but he is one of the most heavily targeted corners in the NFL because people know that he's not a lockdown corner. He's a tackling corner. He can make the tackle when need be, but if they keep him on Jameson Williams, we're going to see a lot of Jameson Williams today. It's Goff under center. He'll hand it off to Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs gets going. We're seeing a little bit of Sonic as he pushes forward for 15 yards and a first down. And the Lions, 2 plays, and they have already flipped the field. Yeah, I don't know. No, I think who I said and what's going to happen, that one's going to happen. That's how I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, I don't think they would have done that. Jared Goff dumps it off to Jahmyr Gibbs and a nice move, 20 yards to the 15-yard line. It's the same celebration. I mean, do it all you want as far as I care. Detroit is on their feet right now. So, yeah. I'm also excited for it. That should be good. I'm looking forward to seeing. It's a movie. I can say Dr. Doom. I just can't give spoilers about comics. I feel like is that cheating to read the comics? Yes. Jahmyr Gibbs gets the handoff again. He slips through more tackles. Another 10 yards. What? The Commanders' defense is suddenly found themselves collapsing at the hands of Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs just he just does his normal thing. He gets the edge, makes a nice cut, and then he's got the open field. The Commanders have to be quick on those tackles. They have to be really quick. Barry. Hello, Barry. Barry, if it isn't Barry. You know the reference. Hand off to David Montgomery. He almost got in there. Get 4 yards. He'll come about a half yard short. First main Marvel movie Deadpool's. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how that goes. And Disney, please make it so that the kids can also see Doomsday. First and goal for the Lions. It's Jahmyr Gibbs in the game from the 2-yard line. Goff. It's Zylstra in motion. Handoff to Gibbs. Touchdown, Lions. Detroit strikes first. Oh, he's got the celebration. And the Lions roar to life on their second drive. And the Commanders are down by 6, pending the extra point. I mean, it looked like they blew it up from the first second, but Jahmyr Gibbs is just pure speed at that point. Like, Goff just had to give him the ball, and Gibbs had to do the rest, and he did just that. Fantastic job by Jahmyr Gibbs getting the edge there and getting in the end zone. The extra point from Jake Bates. is right down the middle. There's been no kicker more clutch. And after the Marcus Mariota, I don't know what happened. The Commanders turned the ball over, and the Lions capitalized with a beautiful drive that took them essentially no time. 7-0 Lions lead. Incredible drive there. Incredible drive by the Lions. Trying to look at the words again. Like, how do I do this? That is so difficult. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be funny. Can't wait for Daredevil Born Again. How rude. I can watch the new one, though. Yeah, I haven't seen the old one. I probably could, but I haven't. You have no idea how old I truly am. Gotta admit, my voice sounds like that of a 32-year-old. So if I just do this and just kind of, you don't see all I am to you is a voice. You would have to guess older, right? You gotta guess older. I gotta clean the camera. Oh no, I made that worse. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. That was awful. All right, we got this. We got this. We got this. I shouldn't have done that. All right, here we go. Much better. Nice, nice. All right, cool. It actually looks clearer than it did originally. It needed to clean anyway. I haven't seen Daredevil either. I never asked. It was before my time. It was before my time of getting into Marvel. I didn't. I was too young when it came out. So mid-50s, dude. Too far. And I'm just hi. What? Mid-50s. You just ignore this. I'll just put my hand here. Hi. You have no idea what's going on here. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, I just had to go around and get the cloth that's right here and just. It actually looks better. He called me 50. My voice doesn't sound 50, does it? In real life, my voice sounds much higher pitched. Ask someone who's seen me in real life. They'll tell you that my voice is more like, hi, everybody, good to see you again. You know, get that. The state I was gonna say, the state I was gonna say wasn't gonna work in that joke because of Puska. Anyway, I caught myself that time. That's a touchback. So the Commanders will take over. The Commanders have had a massive turnaround this year after Ron Rivera and Sam Howell were here last year. They were 4-13. They were awful. In 2024, they added Dante Fowler, Bobby Wagner, Jaden Daniel, Cliff Kingsbury, Dan Quinn, and they have 12 wins, the most since 1999, the third most in team history with 28.5 points per game. I mean, this is the best we've seen the Washington Commanders since Robert Griffin III's rookie year. Washington has two backs in the game. And we see the handoff. Oh, it's not a handoff. It's a keeper from Daniels who simply runs out of bounds. Yeah, we do know how that ended. But I got a very good feeling about Jaden Daniels. I mean, coming into this college career, I didn't make any speculation about him. My only speculations from the draft were that Bo Nix was going to be good. Caleb Williams was going to struggle. I nailed those. I didn't actually say in public what I thought of Jaden Daniels because I had no accurate read on him. Because when I watched Jaden Daniels' tape, it looked very impressive. However, after this play, Jaden Daniels against the blitz, he'll throw out a scary Terry McLaurin who's brought down by Brian Branch. Sorry, that's Terry Arnold. My bad, got the numbers wrong. That's a first down for Washington. And Jaden Daniels is doing a spider fangs. You know, he's just getting the play off with the spider fangs. You know, the Harry Potter thing that, you know, when he's talking about the spiders. I honestly don't like spiders very much. Hand off Austin Eckler. Eckler swallowed up Alex Anzalone. That guy's had himself a season. I mean, I remember him back when he was with New Orleans. So I'm old. The Lions are like, thanks, Saints. Back when the Saints had one of the best linebacker units in the league, because Anzalone was actually not the best linebacker in that crew there in New Orleans for a couple of years. 2nd and 14. Daniels throws a screen to Eckler. Eckler stuffed, gets about 4 yards, brings it back to the original line of game. So as I was saying, Jaden Daniels, I saw a lot of his clips. They looked very impressive, but when I looked at the wins, they didn't have a lot of them, which I thought was surprising. Considering Jaden Daniels combined with Malik Neighbors, I thought they would be better. I do too. I'm old. I remember that. I mean, I may have been very small, but I do remember that. I've been following football for a long time. I may have been very small. Jaden Daniels throws for a first down to Jamison Crowder. That guy, the journeyman himself. I mean, Jamison Crowder has been everywhere there's needed to be. I mean, he's been incredible just throughout his career, just being so good for so many different teams. I mean, most famously with the Jets, I would say he spent a long time with the Jets. He was considered almost obsolete for a while there in his career. And then he's kind of rejuvenated it here in Washington. Brian Robinson breaks through tackles for a first down, a gain of 15 on the play. Brian Robinson, first down, Washington. No, I didn't really either. When I say small, I mean really small. Small enough that I was like, I was watching. Wasn't paying attention, but it was on. 1st and 10, the 29-yard line. Daniels, it's tipped and batted backwards. Amazing play there made by Zadarius Smith. He just sticks his paw up there. He just got one full hand and swatted that ball out. 2nd and 10. The first memory. My first memory. Dan Marino passing the ball downfield. It's caught. Touchdown. Miami wins the Super Bowl. No. Yeah, I wish I was that old. Because then I would have seen the Dolphins win a playoff game. 2nd and 10. Jaden Daniels drops back to pass. He'll throw over his shoulder, and it's almost like Olamide Zacchaeus had to play defense there on that one. Very good coverage there by the Detroit defense. Daniels has only thrown 3 incompletions, and 2 of them were on the last 2 plays. I wish I was born during the Dan Marino era, because then I could have listened to the old-timey boy, hello and welcome back to... It would probably still be Al Michaels, but... I'm sorry, that was a joke about Al Michaels' age. That's not nice. I mean, he's prehistoric, but... 3rd and 10. Jaden Daniels, the blitz coming for him. He throws over the middle. It's a laser, but it's dropped. Deami Brown broken up by Vildor and Onwuzurike. So the Commanders will have to settle for 3. It was a Vildor, who broke that one up. I mean, it was a laser. He hit him right in the hands. Beautiful throw. But Vildor just made the play of the game for the Detroit Lions. Here comes Zane Gonzalez. He went 3 of 3 in Tampa Bay. As long as 52. Here's a 47-yard attempt from Zane Gonzalez. And the kick is up. And it is good for the Commanders. 7-3. Lions still holding the lead. 3:50 to go here in the first quarter. Lions and KC getting on the break. Just squish my nose in. I am Lord Voldemort, because Voldemort isn't allowed to have a nose. Even the Lego. That would be me if I was a kicker. If I was a kicker, I would be like, okay, does anyone got a mirror? All right. Gotta make sure. Okay, here we go. All right, we're ready. Helmet on. let's go do this in style. I mean, I get he did it for a reason because he has OCD. I don't. I would have just been like fixing my hair just actually to be like, all right, gotta look good for the camera. Always been good at public speaking. Gotta show him I'm good at public playing too. All right, let's go. Before putting the helmet on, I would have done that. I watched the clip. I'm like, that would have been me. I'm like, that's what I would have done. I would have done the exact same thing. Like I would have probably gone up to the special team coach and done that. Okay, coach, what's the call? Like game-winning field goal on the line. I would just walk over to special. Hey, coach, what's the call here? Am I faking it? What are we doing? We're down by 2. What do we do? I would be such an annoying player. I mean, I would be a great teammate. I would be annoying for the coaches. I would be like, Coach, hey, how's it going there, pal? You doing good? Yeah, you got to go kick a field goal now. Kick a what? Kick a field goal. What's a field goal? What? Nah, I'm just messing with you. Let's go kick a field goal, win the game. I would be that kicker. Like clutch moment, and I would just be joking with the coach, and they'll be like, shut up. Yeah. You kick. What do I do, coach? What's the call? You kick, son. Just doink it. Just doink it in. That play made me think, because I thought what happened was it would doink off the crossbar and then down against the bottom one, and then it went in before I saw it closer. And I was getting like that one game with Cody Parkey. Remember him, the doink kicker, like the infamous doink kicker? I mean, the guy, he double doinked it out. I'm like, how badly did it, like, all of the gravitational pull in the world wanted Cody Parkey to miss the kick. I thought it was so funny at the time. They're like, don't go! Oh, no! Oh, that was an awesome game. And the return for Detroit, it'll be something about the 26-yard line. Tackle made by Percy Butler was Craig Reynolds on the return. So out comes Jared Goff. Oh, by the way, Pepper, I used one of your words about 5 minutes ago. I kind of forgot to mention it because something exciting happened. When do we get a triple? How would that work? Like, doing, like hit all 3. Just hits exactly the right angle, so it goes perfectly like vertical, doing, and then out. 1st and 10. Goff organizing his thoughts. He'll take the snap, play action. Goff looks over the middle of the field. He'll dump it off to Sam Laporta, and Laporta had a ton of room, but a good tackle made by Jeremy Chin. Good job by Jeremy Chin making the tackle there. He could have gotten an extra 10 yards if he had not been there to make the tackle. 14 yards on the play to Sam Laporta. 1st and 10 coming up for Detroit. Goff is 3 of 4 for 56. Both quarterbacks are off to incredibly accurate starts. Daniels is 8 of 12, and at least 2 of those were very accurate. I formation, Goff under center. Handoff, Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs breaks through. Gibbs has the edge. The 40. It's a foot race. He's out at the 20-yard line. Pushed out by Mike Sonristeel. Jahmyr Gibbs. Wow. What a run. It's the playoffs. I'm going to be as loud as I want. And an incredible cut by Jahmyr Gibbs. And after the cut, it was all speed. He outpaces Jeremy Chin, and the only one that could have caught him was Mike Sonristeel, and he did a great job chasing him down there. Gibbs has 58 rushing, 23 receiving, and a touchdown. Goff looks to throw. He has all day. He'll throw underneath to Laporta, who gets popped, but he'll get about 6. Yeah, the word was obsolete. I did it while I was rambling about Jamison Crowder, because I just needed like a really old player. I'll try and get as many as possible. I'm not sure how I'm going to get some of them though. Some of them seem very difficult, but I'm going to get as many of them as I possibly can. 2nd and 4 for the Lions. Goff under center. Montgomery's the back. The call goes to Monty, and Montgomery will spin forward before he's eventually tackled. If you're getting about 2, we're going to give him 3 because the refs are feeling especially generous. You got to go watch the tape now to make sure I got it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do need the ads. You know, like just hear the dong. If you were paying attention to the words, then you'll know what I was referencing. Just the dong. 3rd and 1, Goff to throw under pressure. Goff fumbles. It's recovered by the Commanders. It's Washington football. Frankie Louvu. And the Commanders will take over. And it wasn't Louvu who forced it, but it was Louvu who recovered it. That was all Dorrance Armstrong. Dorrance Armstrong gets Jared Goff as he's about to release. And that was a fumble as clear as glass. That was a pretty good metaphor. I just kind of started talking. So Frankie Louvu recovers the fumble there. Great job by Dorrance Armstrong getting the pressure and then forcing the fumble. Dorrance Armstrong, he might be a familiar face to our resident Dallas Cowboy fan because that's where he was drafted, and he spent most of his career with Dorrance Armstrong. With the Cowboys, Dorrance Armstrong spent most of his career with the Cowboys. He spent the last, 5 years. He spent the last 5 years of his career with Dallas, and he came to Washington for his first season with another team this year. And he's got the strip sack against Jared Goff and the Lions. Does our resident Lions fan remember Dorrance Armstrong? Our resident Cowboys fan, sorry. Also known as our resident bandwagoner. No, I'm just messing with you. I think he disappeared. He was here. How rude. It's because I called him a bandwagoner. It's okay, I wasn't here to hear it. Doesn't count. Doesn't count. All right. What words do we have left? A lot. No. So many. Guys, delivery guys are crazy. I mean, what a cool story. I have trouble believing that it's a real story, but it said Dallas, Texas, so I don't. I actually do believe it because I could picture there being snakes in Texas. I could picture there being snakes in Texas. Wow, those are words, all right. Those are words. Yikes. All right, so they're looking at the replay, and we see Goff. Oh, no, they surely not. No, yeah, it's a fumble. I'm like, it showed like him kind of shoveling it underneath. I'm like, they didn't. No, they did not. Great job by Dorrance Armstrong forcing the fumble there and getting the ball back to the Commanders' offense with the chance to take the lead with a touchdown. Handoff to Brian Robinson, who splits the seam right down the middle for a first down. Both teams are running the ball fairly effectively in this one. Robinson has 29, Gibbs has 58, and Daniels has taken it himself once as well. Commanders have to take one more snap before the end of the first quarter. 35 seconds to go. 7-3 Lions lead. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Daniels communicating with his offense amidst the crowd noise here in Detroit. Lions show heavy blitz. They bring it. It's a handoff to Brian Robinson, who gets the edge in about 6 yards. 15 seconds to go. Nope, I got the rule wrong. Oops. It's not, yeah. First quarter doesn't count. It doesn't matter. Clock keeps running anyway. 3-2 and This is the end of the first quarter. Detroit Lions lead by 4, 7-3. Commanders have the ball. They're moving the ball well. Both teams are. It's looking like we're going to have a good one, folks. Stick around for the remainder of the 3 quarters. We got a lot of football left to be played. A ticket to the NFC Championship on the line. Don't go anywhere. All right. All right. I got a plan. I got to be looking, see if I can find any of the words in there. Super Bowl's coming up. If you're excited, just say you're excited. I'm pumped. You can't tell. I mean, like if you look me really deeply in the eyes, you can tell that I'm thrilled for the Super Bowl. I'm ready. Look me directly in the eyes, you can just tell. I'm Super Bowl ready. And I mean, we're ready for it. There's not going to be a commentary on it. I'm so hyped. There's not going to be a commentary on it. This is the official post. That this is the official announcement. There's not going to be a commentary on the Super Bowl. There shall be no Super Bowl commentary because I'll be enjoying my Super Bowl Sunday. I'm ready as long as the Eagles aren't in it. Is our resident Eagles fan here? I don't think he is. I think you're fine. I think you're good. There is a resident Eagles fan. They just don't ever say anything. I mean, if I listed the amount of fans that I know, I think we might actually be able to get all 32. I should count. I should count during one of the next commercial breaks how many fans we actually have that watch my stuff. I think we have the entire NFC North. We might be missing. I think we might be missing Chicago. Trying to think. I don't know. I'll have to ask. But yeah, we got some guys. I think we have at least 10 representatives on a constant basis. I do think we're missing Chicago, though, because there is no such thing as a Bears fan. Unless, the Bears! Lions defense, they've been battered, but never have broken in this time here. 18 defensive players injured this season. They've had 30 different starters on defense this season, which is tied for the most in the NFL defense this season. 7th, 1st, and 7th. So they've been pretty consistently the 7th-ranked defense, led by Aaron Glenn, who you didn't hear it from me, but I hear he's got a job lined up. A job lined up somewhere. I hear he's already signed up for something. That he's already they're just waiting for his playoff run to end. Jaden Daniels drops back. He'll throw deep. He's got De'Ami Brown, and De'Ami Brown brings the Commanders into the red zone. A beautiful throw from Jaden Daniels, and the Lions really are not forcing enough pressure on him. They have to be getting around the edge, keeping him contained, but also keeping him on his toes a little. They can't be giving him all day. And Jaden Daniels tucks it himself. He'll get about 3 yards before he's dragged down by Kirby Joseph. I don't know anybody who likes Chicago or the Giants. Yeah. I mean, I wish I could say I didn't know anyone that liked the Dolphins, but yeah, no. Someone save me. First person to buy me merch. That's the team that I'm rooting for next season. 7-3 Lions at the lead. 2nd and 7. 13:57 to go. Daniels play action. Rolls to his right. Daniels looking downfield. He's got a blocker. He'll get about 5 of the necessary 7. Hello. 13:45 to go here in the second quarter. Lions lead by 4. 3rd down coming up for the Commanders. Jaden Daniels is having himself a nice night, 9 of 13 for 125 yards. But he has to be able to cash in on the end zone here if you're Washington. Otherwise, we might have a little bit of a struggle. Daniels has 3 rushes for 11 yards in this one. We saw 2 of his rushes in the last 2 plays. And to see the Lions holding up their classic flags, they're more like posters. They just say 3rd down. Daniels looks to his left. He had Eckler. He didn't go for it. He overthrows Olamide Zaccheaus. Incomplete. 4th and 3. So if you're Dan Quinn here, are you dialing something up? I can tell you right now, it's a Dan. If his name's Dan, he's going for it on 4th and short. The Commanders are 20 of 23 in the regular season, 87%. Best in the NFL. Postseason, they're 3 of 6, 50%. Not as good. But 4th and 3, they've been here before. The Commanders, they're going for it. No surprise. Here we go. At the 9-yard line, they need to get to the 6. Play clock's at 3, 2, 1. They barely get the snap off. It's lasered in to Zach Ertz, and Ertz is down at the 2-yard line. First down, Washington. The Commanders convert. That was a very good play call from Washington. Just having they had 3 slants. I mean, it's a classic play in any playbook, just simple slants. 90% of the time, you can get someone for 3 yards. That was, assuming like there's no one completely hugging your receiver. Like there wasn't one there for Ertz. He had a little bit of space, a little bit of separation. Beautiful job by Washington. Love the play call. 1st and goal. That's what I spent. Me too. Play action. He missed him. And Bates is missed by Jaden Daniels. I mean, it was an odd angle there, so I'm not sure Bates got the ground he intended there. John Bates. Who that? I was saying Bates. I'm like, Bates. Who's Bates? He's in his 3rd year at a Boise State. Who knew? 2nd and goal for the Commanders. 12:27 to go till the half. 2nd and goal from the 2. Daniels keeps it himself. He tries to cut it out to the right side and won't get there. He's shoved down out of bounds by Kirby Joseph. Some would argue that was a late hit. You see, we see tensions rise a little between the O-lineman Coleman and Kirby Joseph. I mean, it was a bit of a late hit, but I think Kirby Joseph was still carrying momentum. Yeah, I don't know. That wasn't really a late hit. 3rd and goal coming up for the Commanders. So here's the question. If you can pick up 2 yards, do you go for it here? I would. I would say the Commanders need anything they can get. If they don't get it, then best case scenario. Oh, and he floats. Oh, no! There's a flag. That's what we were looking for. Terry McLaurin. I thought he just fell. You got to hear my voice on what it normally sounds like when I'm not commentating. Oh, no, why? That's the football fan in me. Like, no. And a little bit of flopping there. A little bit of flopping. But, got the job done. I mean, I guess. That was a flop. I don't like the call. I want Tara McCauley in here. I don't know if that's the name of the Fox guy, but I don't think so. But it's 1st and goal, so the Commanders have another chance. Second chances don't come often. We'll hope that they can capitalize here. Handoff to Brian Robinson. No! Denied at the 1-yard line. Good defense from Detroit. Let's go for a loss of 1 yard. Yeah, I did not. That was definitely a flop. Not a huge fan. Who's the officiating crew here today? I forgot to give them the recognition they deserve. This is Ronald Torbert's officiating crew. Yay. Not one that's traditionally known, I would say. He's one of the more recent refs. Or is he the one who made that controversial pass interference call on the Saints-Vikings thing, or the no call, sorry. And it's a handoff, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. saying, "Can you hear me now?" The Commanders take the lead. Brian Robinson, the Lions, stand dejected at the goal line. What happened there? He had so much room. Oh, it was just a minute. He just didn't plug the gap in time. Yeah, he knew it was his fault there. That was on him. Dan Quinn giving a message to his guy, Brian Robinson. wonderful scene in Detroit as Dan Quinn congratulates his guys. I like Dan Quinn. I've always liked Dan Quinn. I've always liked how much of a player person he. Oh, there was an injured commander. He's very injured. So we see players kneeling. I didn't even notice. I'll get you an update on that as soon as possible. Wouldn't go on fourth. At least you'd be with one after the field. Okay, so here's the thing. So if it had to have gone to fourth down in that situation, and it would have been fourth down, the reason why you go for it, you can't lose yards. So it's a risk. You can't lose yards. So what you have to do, their defense has played pretty respectably so far. You forced a fumble earlier. You've kept the Lions pretty well trapped, with the exception of that second drive. And what I would do is, you pin them at the 1. That's safety territory. You get a safety, score 7-5, get the ball back. Jaden Daniels continues to do what he does. Even if you just settle for a field goal there, you're up by 1. So I would say if you're at 4th and goal from the 1-yard line, there's no negatives for going for it at that point. Just a little bit of analytical knowledge. So from an analytics standpoint, you go for it every time, which is kind of what Dan Campbell has associated with his franchise. It's kind of like technically, my chance of getting the first down is always better if I go for it on 4th down than if he doesn't. Like, if he kicks a field goal, they have a 0% chance of scoring a touchdown. If he goes for it on 4th and 30, he still has a 0.11% chance of getting the touchdown, and that's still a 0.11% chance that they're winning the game. So analytically speaking, you should always go for it on 4th down. Of course, you have to depend a little bit more on your players, so it kind of depends on the team whether you do it. But for the Commanders, I would have gone for it on 4th and 1. You just do a simple rollout, play action pass, Zach Ertz, or if Ertz isn't open, run it in yourself. It's Jaden Daniels, trucker guy. You just got mathed. Math is cool. Only in sports, but math is cool. 100% chance to win if you go for it. I like those odds. Those are Dan Campbell's analytics guys. Like, Dan, let me tell you something. Yeah. You know what happens if you don't go for this? What? You get 3 points. Oh, that doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, but let me tell you something else. What? If you go for it, yeah, you have a 60% chance to get 4 more points than that. So Sam Cosme was the injured commander. He got bent up a little on the play. So we hope he's all right. Otherwise, the Commanders will be without a vital member of their offensive line. So, that's kind of the strategy. That's what I think the strategy is behind the Lions offense. Is like, hey, it's 4th and 3. You get 3 points, you get 7 points. Mathematically, you're going to want the 7. If you get 1 7, it's better than 2 3s. If you get 2 7s, it's better than 10 3s. You get as however many 3s you want. If you double that with touchdowns or even half that with touchdowns, the touchdowns is always going to be more. So, it's ultimately a very smart strategy. If I were a coach, I would be a little more smart about it. But in that position, if you're Dan Quinn, 4th and anywhere within the goal line, you got to go for it. So Brian Robinson makes it a 3-point Commanders. And people might call me risky. Sorry, I just interrupted my own train of thought. Well, people might call me risky by saying that. But ultimately, the chances are better, and the Lions have really lived by that. Like, if you feel confident that your team can get down there again, go ahead. Sure. But with Washington, the situation's a little different. This is a Detroit defense who can lock down anybody any day of the year half the time. You have to take advantage of the time that they let you. If you settle for a field goal instead of a touchdown, they're going to take advantage of you, and you're going to find Detroit winning by a field goal in just a second. So it was a really great, it would have been a great decision to go for. So on 4th and 3, earlier in the drive, completely agree with the call by Dan Quinn. I think it was genius. Because ultimately, 3 points does you nothing. Like, even saying the bigger picture, they end up winning by 1 point. Guess what? They would have probably won anyway. So if they had won by 1 point, if they had gone for it, got the touchdown, they would have won by 6. It wouldn't have even been a competition. Detroit on the return. That's Craig Reynolds, who breaks through the first layer and can't get past the second to the 30-yard. What about going for 2 every time? So, one second. Detroit Lions records. Are they talking about their actual records? Yes. Franchise record 15 wins this season because 33.2 points per game. Both franchise records, and the other one is 410 total yards per game. A plus 222 point differential. That's another franchise record. And there's been spinning those records all day long, all year long. Jared Goff under center, play action. Goff looks deep, launches. Williams, he's got him. He overthrows him. That was a touchdown if he put it in the right place. Ooh, that was the danger there. And you see exactly who I said was in coverage. They targeted Sondra Steele. And then suddenly that second safety, that second guardian, Jeremy Chin, that's the guy who has to be watching. And we saw it there. We see him spying out for him. Jameson Williams not happy about that one. He knows he should have been able to get that one. I'll answer your question in a second. They're going really fast pace right now. Lions are hurrying up the offense. Goff. Over the middle, it's caught by St. Brown. I thought he dropped it for a second. He gets 7. 3rd and 3. So, I'll just save it for the commercial. I need stuff to fill time anyway. Regular season second quarter point differential is plus 268 tonight. It's at -3. Wait. Yes. Yes. Tonight it's at -7 because they were talking about the second quarter. Yeah. No, wait. Yes. I did the math right. Jared Goff drops back to pass. Looks overhead. He's got St. Brown. He got him. There's a flag. Oh, my goodness. And St. Brown extends to make the catch. A phenomenal job by Amon-Ra. It's holding on the defense. Decline it. Count the yards. First down, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 34 yards. What a job by Amon-Ra St. Brown, extending there to make the catch. Jared Goff put it right where only he could get it, so credit to Goff. But Amon-Ra St. Brown made the play. I mean, wow. First and 10, Goff under center. Handoff, Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs makes a good cut. Jahmyr Gibbs gets nailed by his own guy from behind and gets an easy first down. Silly stat as if this game is a disappointment because they were plus. I'm like, what is this? I was thinking something. I wasn't gonna talk smack about, the Fox broadcasting crew, but I'm just saying, you come over here, you don't get that kind of stuff. I said it because it was up there. I was trying to make sense of what's happening on the screen. But, if it had been like CBS or something, they wouldn't have put that out. Jahmyr Gibbs on the shovel. Gibbs gets stumped for a loss of 1 on the play. That's weird. I felt everything like shaking. That's why. The remote, it's on the table. It's like I just feel like a little tapping. I'm like, what is that? It's just the remote. 2nd and 10 for the Lions at the Commanders' 16-yard line. The Lions have 7.4 yards per rush. And it's a screen. And that'll go deep. It might go in, and he's short at the 1. Great job by Jeremy Chin, saving the touchdown from Khalif Raymond. And a beautiful play there. Just a well-executed screen. I mean, when screens work, they're fantastic. When screens in Madden are stupid. Screens in real life work 50% of the time. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it could be really, really bad. I mean, it's a risk, but the Commanders were not ready for that one. I formation, 1st and goal. Laporta in motion. It's play action. Goff under pressure throws. Oh my goodness! Sam Laporta! Are you serious? What a catch! What? All right, let's see that. What? Excuse me? Goff? How? Okay. The Lions have outdone. Wow. I'm speechless after that one, and that's not something that happens very often. Those that know me will know. Extra point is good. Sam Laporta. He might not be the best tight end in the NFL, but he says, I only need one of my hands. And he juggles it and somehow catches it. And the Detroit Lions are winning by 4. That was fantastic. I think that's the first time you've actually seen me just go, what? And then that might be the first remarkable, actually remarkable play we've commentated on this channel. Truly, truly remarkable. Wow. What a play by Sam Laporta. It's the first time you've ever seen me flip off the headset what? It's because I didn't want to hear how loud I was being in my own ear. Better for YouTube, not good for ears, because I have myself a little louder than you guys hear me, just so that I know if I can hear myself too loud, that means I'm probably too loud. All right, I do have myself a little louder, I believe. I can check. Yeah. Oh, that actually went up. So see, if I flip the microphone, my sound actually gets much clearer. Also happens to get much louder. So this sounds better, more clear. You can actually hear my voice a little better. It sounds a little more higher pitched as well. And this is kind of how it would be in an actual, this is how you would have it, but I would turn my sound down, but I haven't gotten the estimation right for the sound on that mode. So I turn it around to make it sound clear. It's not as loud, it's not as clear, but it sounds more like what the commentators would actually have. Because everyone knows they get cut rate equipment. I'm just kidding. But I mean, if you ever I can't really hear you. Could you switch the sound? I won't actually raise the sound. I'll just flip the microphone to the side, and then you'll hear half of my voice rather than the other half. Or if you want it really loud, I could do this, and then if I yell, it's gonna sound really loud. Like this one, I'm whispering right now, and you can still hear me perfectly. Right now, I can take my headphones off. I'm barely talking. I can barely hear my own voice. I'm not talking loud right now, at all, but you can still hear me perfectly, which is why this one's so much better, sound wise. But you don't want it this way, because this is football. When I yell, he's yelling. Meanwhile, if I do it like this, this is the sound it's actually at. I'm barely making any noise. So I like to talk louder when I commentate. So I have it like this so that I don't blow your eardrums out. If I do this, you can even hear me louder because I'm still facing the correct side of the microphone. But I flip it around so as not to blow anyone's eardrums out. I'm sure you appreciate that. I was just explaining the science behind. I heard someone was a friend of mine was watching her why can you see the mute button on your microphone? I'm well, I should explain that. So I'm explaining it. So that's why. It's because it's way louder on the other side. Our ears, thank you. Yeah, because if I had done that call on the other side, the what? It would have been so. I'm just trying to think of what it would sound like. I don't want to try, but I woke up half the neighborhood with that one. Just my what? He caught that? Yeah. That was insane. I mean, those are the kind of things that we watch football for. Am I right or am I right? I mean, those are the plays where it's truly wow. That sheer amazement. We have one-on-one press coverage on Olamide Zacchaeus. They were pointing that out. It's a tuck from Jaden Daniels, who's trying to make some moves. He's not doing a very good job. Gets about 4 yards. Brent NASCAR started. I don't know anything about NASCAR. If you're being serious, I don't know anything about NASCAR. Is there NASCAR going on right now? Are you being serious? I don't know about it. NASCAR. I'm not a car dude. Is there NASCAR going on right now? You tell me. ESPN's kind of hard to find stuff. Jaden Daniels drops back to pass. Daniels throws to Deami Brown, gets the first down. About 9 yards, and I rhymed while I was at it. No, wait, is there NASCAR? NASCAR. I mean, I guess there is. Huh, cool. It's a commercial for the Daytona 500. I love the Daytona 500. Don't care. First and 10. Jaden Daniels. It's another screen to Terry McLaurin, who slips through. It's a foot race with Kirby Joseph, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Washington. Scary Terry in his scariest form. We have ourselves a barn burner in Detroit. This is what I wanted all year. Yes. What a job by Terry McLaurin, showing speed, a little bit of a stiff arm. Did he step out of bounds, though? I don't think he did. But what a play. No one's getting sleep in my neighborhood. I'm sorry. I apologize. Wow. That was phenomenal job. And Zane Gonzalez for the extra point. It's right down the middle. 17-14. Terry McLaurin. Whew, I got chills because that was scary. Scary Terry for the victory. 17-14. Kirby Joseph doesn't know what hit him. We got ourselves a game. 59 yards. Wow. Hard to transition after that, I gotta say. Very difficult to transition. I'm not going to switch sports. We're doing the rest of the divisional round games because if they're like this one, it's going to be a weekend, can I just say? Well, here's another movie. Who is going to see How to Train Your Dragon live action? I'm going to see it just because it's part of my childhood. That's why I'm going to see it, is just childhood, like, memories. Oh, like, I remember in my day when this first came out. You know, How to Train Your Dragon, coming soon to theaters. Have to watch the original. Who are you? Did you have a childhood? Oh, I have some breaking news. Breaking news. We got breaking news. We have breaking news. I got to type it because it's more effective that way. Breaking news. No, that's a slash. Breaking news. All right. Arnold Schwarzenegger, get to the chopper. Got breaking news. Bear with me. If you already know it, too bad. You still got to bear with me. There we go. The Terminator. I'm just now getting to the animated film so much. There's your breaking news. Raheem Morris has named Jeff Ulbrich as his defensive coordinator. When Morris became the interim head coach of the Atlanta Falcons in 2020, Ulbrich was the DC there. He replaced Jimmy Lake as the defensive coordinator there. Ulbrich was recently the interim head coach of the New York Jets. He took over after the firing of Robert Saleh. The Jets went 3-9 after the move. Ulbrich has been the Jets defensive coordinator since 2021. Under Ulbrich, the Jets defense was top 5 in defensive EPA, which is expected points per average, in case you're wondering, in 2022 and 2023. Morris and Ulbrich have a long history. They were on the same staff in Atlanta from 2015 to 2020 under this very head coach that we're seeing today in Dan Quinn. Ulbrich played in the NFL as a linebacker for 10 seasons before becoming a defensive coordinator. Falcons struggled on defensively in 2024 under Lake, who came over from the Los Angeles Rams with Morris. Atlanta had the highest opposing quarterback completion percentage in the league at 69.9%, as well as the lowest number of sacks, 31, and quarterback percentage pressures at 28.1%. So hopefully Jeff Ulbrich will be able to lead the Falcons to a better defensive season. Multiple flags on the play as the Lions have committed severe false start. False start, offense. It's on Sam Laporta. So the Falcons got a new DC. I kind of like the hire. If I'm being honest with you, I like the hire. Jeff Ulbrich, as a Dolphins fan, I've seen a lot of Jeff Ulbrich in my time. He's not half bad, you know. He can call defense. He might not ever be a head coach, but he can call a good defense, and he did it with the Jets for many years. So I think that's a good call, elevating the defense. And you know, if the Falcons draft another good defensive player, I mean, they probably won't. They might draft another offensive weapon or an O-lineman, give Michael Penix some more options. But if they draft a corner, which is kind of what I think Atlanta should go for as a corner opposite to A.J. Terrell, which, I mean, they don't have a bad one at the moment, but they should probably get one, a quarter opposite to A.J. Terrell in the draft. Work with him, and who knows, we might have our next Sauce Gardner. Just pointing it out. That's a good hire. I'm liking it. I'm liking it for the Falcons. Jared Goff, under pressure. He throws deep. It's intercepted. The Commanders, they're bringing it back to the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown. Pick 6. This game is wild. Quan Martin. The Commanders have a 10-point lead. The number 1 seed is on the ropes. Wow. Just wow. This is insane. He overthrows Tim Patrick by about half a mile, and the only one there is Quan Martin. Jameson Williams thought he had him on the tackle. Jared Goff got trucked, by the way, at the latter half of that play. But Quan Martin in a pick 6. Zane Gonzalez for his 3rd extra point of the night. It's good. 24-14. The Commanders are in control. 14 unanswered and 14 in the last minute. Lions fans are silent in Ford Field because of what is going on. Wow. I honestly think I'm going to get noise complaints after this one. This is wild. What a game we've had so far. I'm not even trying with your stuff anymore, Pepper. I'm sorry. This game's going crazy. I've forgotten about that. Wow. I mean, there's been so much action over the last 5 minutes. We have seen 28 points scored in the last 5 minutes and 30 seconds. That's crazy. So crazy that I have to leave it for our replay audience. 28 points in 5.5 minutes. We have ourselves a ball game, folks. Wow. Wonderful, wonderful game. I'm not either. I'm sorry. You get out of here if you're going to complain about the barn burner. I'm loving it. This is what I'm here for. I haven't had a game like this all year. Finally. This is the first game that actually looks like it's going to be a shootout. I mean, this is incredible. What a game so far it has been for both teams. Granted, Washington's been on fire. The defense just made a huge play. Terry McLaurin just took off. But the Lions have done everything right other than that pass from Jared Goff. The Lions do need a bit of energy. I mean, the Commanders just scored 14 points on you in the span of a minute. So if you're Detroit, you're going to need a little bit of a breath of life here. A big breath of life. Pretty big breath of life. Absolutely incredible sequence of events that's taken place here. I should be standing. I don't know what. Oh. Uh-oh. We'll get you more news on this later, but Lions quarterback Jared Goff is heading into the No, he's heading straight to the locker room. Oh, no. And now I can definitely tell you it's silent in Detroit. I think he might have hit his head on the way down. I think that's what they called him for. Let's see what happened. Well, he took a shot. He did. Yeah, he hit his head on the way down. And then he also took a shot to the jaw. I mean, it wasn't a hard hit to that, but I think he says, I'm sure. I don't know what he's sure about, but Hendon Hooker is in the game for the Detroit Lions. At least I think. No, that's, is that Teddy? Is that Teddy? It's Teddy! Ah, I love Teddy. It is Teddy, isn't it? It's Teddy! It's Teddy Bridgewater! Teddy! This game has everything. No, Jared Goff's just being put into the medical tent. So he almost went into the locker room, but he is in the blue medical tent. Teddy Bridgewater is in his 11th season. He's thrown 1,500 yards in his career. I mean, this guy's had himself a career. He's been all around, including a stop with the Miami Dolphins, which I love Teddy Bridgewater, though. He wasn't that good, but I love Teddy Bridgewater. Hand off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs up the middle. Jahmyr Gibbs, a gain of 15. No Goff, no problem at the moment. See if they can keep it up. So Lions fans currently sending up prayers for Jared Goff. I mean, the entire sports world is. I mean, it's been incredible what he's done so far, but it looks like we might be on the verge of an upset here. Bridgewater to throw for the first time. He completes it to Jahmyr Gibbs, first down Detroit. Teddy Bridgewater, fresh off of leading his high school, his former alma mater high school, to a Florida title. He's from Florida, which I like him too. I mean, people from Florida are generally good. From the South Florida. South Florida. Yeah. Not the North of Florida. We don't talk about them. You know, you got the South Florida, which is like Miami, Orlando. Well, people from Miami are crazy. We're going to scratch Orlando, Tampa. No, we got to scratch Tampa. So, yeah, people from Orlando are great. Hand off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Trickery. It's a reverse jet sweep to Jameson Williams. He's taken off down the sideline. The 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Lions. Oh my goodness. This game has everything. Wow. Get this chair out of here. No, we're standing after that. We're raising the table for that one. More. Stay. Something precariously perched there. What a trick play, and then all the speed. He did the Madden flip. You're right. The kick return Madden flip. Don't ask how I know that because I don't have the actual game itself. Anyway. Extra point is good. Jameson Williams and the Detroit Lions. No Goff. Hey, you know what? Maybe we'll make Jahmyr Gibbs the quarterback. A little bit of lateral, a little bit of trickeration, and a little bit of 7 points on the board. 24-21, Commanders get the ball, but the Lions didn't skip a beat without Goff. Raise the roof? No. Raise the table. Wow. I'm pumped. I really am. What a game. We have 45 points scored in this game. 35 points in the last 6.5 minutes. So I'll change that to 7. In the last 7 minutes. That was Jameson Williams' 5th touchdown of 50-plus yards in a season, tied for the most in franchise history. And Mr. Ben Johnson, your interview with Tom Brady's going great, friend. I mean, wow. This game is wild at this point. 4 minutes to go until halftime. But at the rate that this is going, halftime's in another 30 minutes, and we're on our way to seeing 21 more points scored. I mean, what a playoff game to attend, you know? If you're in attendance to this one, you're a Detroit fan. You've had so much excitement. You've had some depression because the Commanders took a 10-point lead at one point just a few minutes ago, actually. And I mean, how about Teddy Bridgewater picking up a block? Yes, Teddy. Love that for him. And Jameson Williams just outran everybody. He knew it too. And he leaps into the end zone. I mean, it's been a whirlwind of a game so far. Anyone at this game has to be going absolutely crazy right now. And Jared Goff has his helmet back on for those that are interested. So Jared Goff appears to be set to come back into the game. Jaden Daniels hands it off to Austin Eckler, who breaks through 8 yards. Where is the defense? I'm fine with it. Don't show up. This, friends, is what it was like in the 1970s. Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, John Elway, these are the games. Jaden Daniels takes off, keeps it himself, and gets some extra yards. No defense being played on either side. That's a gain of 15 and a first down. Leave Teddy in. I agree. Teddy's awesome. I love Teddy Bridgewater. Cliff Kingsbury against Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn and Joe Witt Jr. as well. These are 4 coaches who are getting head coaching interviews. That's how good this is. From a coaching perspective, we have elite play callers on either side. Jaden Daniels, Joe Witt Jr. got an interview with the Jets earlier yesterday, if you're wondering. So that's why I say Joe Witt Jr. as well. Handoff Austin Eckler. He'll get about 2 yards before he's taken down. But both teams have agreed beforehand not to play defense. Highest percentage of drives resulting in points. The Lions 52%, the Commanders 50%, and the Bills 50%. And you know what? That's a fun stat. Congratulations to the Fox crew of putting that up there perfectly. 168 yards passing for both squads in this one. Jaden Daniels, he dropped back 10 yards. He's going deep. Daniels, deep. He's got him in. He's got him. First down, Commanders at the 5. De'Ami Brown. Oh, my goodness. What a game. He got him on the face mask, too. Throw the flag. It hasn't stopped. The second quarter came around and the teams took off. 24-21 Commanders lead, but no, in this game, I got the score 31-28 going into halftime. Wow, absolutely incredible game. Just absolutely fantastic. No, I mean, this is what I imagine it was like to watch, like that. My dad tells me about this all the time because obviously I was not born in the 1970s and 1980s. He's telling me, he's like, back in my day, there was no defense. There was Dan Marino. There was Jim Kelly. He was going to get mad that I did this impression of him. There was John Elway. And those 3 men, all it took to put up 50 points any day of the year. I'm like, yes, we need more of that. And the last time we saw a game like that in the NFL was these very Detroit Lions. And they were playing the other team with a 50% scoring percentage, the Buffalo Bills. Earlier in the year, that game was fantastic. Game of the year by far, 48-42. Those teams were dueling. Buffalo came out on top on that one. But instead of it being a thrilling second quarter, it was a thrilling fourth quarter because going into the fourth, the score was 35-21. Then the scoring took off. But in this one, this second quarter has been a quarter of legends. I haven't seen anything on this. Are on the verge of a combined score of over 100. They are on the verge. Yes, correct. You did. Yeah. I am like 45. Yes, you did. You did do it right. Yeah, they're on the verge. This is an absolute insane game. This is exactly what I wanted. You're like, my Christmas gift. It's come so late, but worth it. I mean, this is exactly what it's like to see a football fan go crazy because there's a game that reminds you of history, like actual NFL history taking place on the field right now. Like we're watching history being made at this moment. I mean, there's a rookie quarterback about that could lead his team very well to the NFC Championship game, and that would be the first time that's ever happened, I believe. And on the other side, a Lions team that has been not worthy of a Super Bowl for so long. They've been in playoff desperation forever, and they've finally at this level. And to make it to the NFC Championship game for a second consecutive year and potentially to win the Super Bowl would be huge for this team as a franchise. But these Commanders are standing in their way. I mean, you could not have scripted this game any better. So don't tell me that the NFL scripted. This is insane. Jaden Daniels, play action. He'll take it himself. Daniels slips forward for about 2 yards. This is awesome. I'm all smiles at this point. This is a wonderful game. Like, I'm going to leave at halftime. All I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be checking my phone, going, how many people are saying this is a great game? Be like, I want to be one of them too. This is a great game. Absolutely fantastic performances from these two teams so far. At this point, if you're Washington, even if it does end up like you don't get it, it's 4-down territory. I'm saying it again. You got to go for it here. The way this game's going, Detroit's going to score the second they touch the ball. You got to go for it. Go for it every chance you get. Daniels under pressure, rolls to his right and throws it out of the back of the end zone. 3rd down. Got to hold them to a field goal if you're the Lions. They're not doing that. This is the Dans we're talking about here. Dan Quinn's going for it. If it's 4th down, they're going for it. I'm telling you right now. Detroit can try and hold them to a field goal all they want, but we're not seeing 3 points on the scoreboard in your dreams. Dan. That's that. That's what they're cheering for in the stadium. No matter what team they're on, they're just like, Dan. 3rd and goal. From the 6. Zach Ertz is who they highlight. Ertz in motion. Daniels looks that way. He flings one in. It's caught. Touchdown, Commanders. 30 points in a half. Zach Ertz. Exactly who they highlighted. Aaron Glenn is speechless. Incredible throw. He drilled that in his chest. I mean, good hands by Zach Ertz. This has been fantastic. Wow. The extra point from Zane Gonzalez. The kick is up and it is good. 31-21. Saw some flashbacks to the Atlanta game with that one. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, you're listening to me. I'm screaming. I mean, it doesn't sound that loud because the microphone's not flipped, but if it's loud for you like this, I'm blowing the entire neighborhood out. Like, they have no idea what's happening. I mean, they probably think something catastrophic's happening in here right now, but this is fantastic. And they're doing their little halftime preview. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave at halftime. I'm going to go make my drink, and then we're back. We're back for the second half. We still have 2 quarters of football left. The Commanders have put up 31 points. We have 2 quarters left. The pace we're at, the final score is going to be 62-42. Mathematically speaking, this game's wild. Wow. Oh, sorry. I'm not. I should watch my voice because I have to do something tomorrow with my voice. But wow, they're still 141. I'm telling 31-28. If the Commanders touch the ball again, 38-28. We still might get 14 more. That's what I'm saying. We got plenty of time. Dan Quinn's going to be over there like, timeout. Why? You're only going to have 20 seconds. It's enough. Timeout. 1st and 10. Jared Goff returns for the Detroit Lions. Teddy Bridgewater made his presence felt and shall forever be recognized for that touchdown if the Lions win the game. Jared Goff drops back to pass. He'll throw over the middle to Amon-Ra St. Brown, 11 yards before he's upended by Marshawn Lattimore. And this is crazy. It is, yes. That's exactly what they're going to do. I mean, wow. Jared Goff throws. Sam Laporta, gain of 7. This has been a game. This is the first half. I'm still like, Jared Goff looks to throw under some pressure, gets it away. It's caught. The effort by these teams is nuts. I mean, Jared Goff just kind of lobs one up there. And Jahmyr Gibbs, that's a catch. That's a catch. Jahmyr Gibbs, all the effort in the world. Timeout number 2 from the Lions. A minute left to play. Oh, never mind. That is not a catch. Yeah, all right. Scratch that. Oops. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, he did drop it, but good effort. Good effort. I'm going to be in awe for the rest of the game just by this quarter. I'm 35 points in 10 minutes. What? 42 points scored in second quarter. Sorry, I got the math wrong too. Most in any quarter all time in postseason. I was telling you, we're witnessing history here today, folks. Okay, was I right to pick this game? Was I right or was I right? Was this not the greatest choice ever on my part? Just being like, okay, I think we're gonna commentate on Lions Commanders. I think it's a good idea. I was right. It doesn't matter if the other game goes to overtime. We're not seeing 62 points in the Ravens Bills game. I mean, sure. I mean, the other game might go to overtime. Granted, but are we going to see as much excitement as we see in this one? Better to the other one just to compare. It might even still have a voice. At the end of it, I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning like, oops. I mean, I might just have to, honestly. I mean, it's at a reasonable hour. The only problem is I would have to kick out these guys, Gotta kick out these guys for the time. Or, I mean, I guess I could get a guest host. Thoughts? Thoughts? 3rd and 3. Thoughts on a guest host? I could probably manage it for Bills Ravens. I don't know any Bills or Ravens fans, but I could probably get a guest host. 3rd and 3, first down on the run from Jahmyr Gibbs. Lions going hurry up. It would be my producer. My producer would, in fact, probably would be the person. Jahmyr Gibbs. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Roommates Carl and Clark. Yeah, only one of them though, probably, because the other two don't know as much. If we were to do it, so I mean, give some suggestions. I mean, I'm fine. I'll ask. I'll ask. I mean, we'll see. We'll spice it up. But if that game is anything like this game, both teams almost averaging 10 yards per play, which is insane. Like they're crossing a field in 9 plays. Sam Laporta in motion. Goff under pressure throws a slant to Gibbs, who goes ahead for 12 yards and a first down. Tackle made by Jeremy Chin. Lions still going hurry up. Nope, they called timeout. Scratch that. Ooh. I tripped on the cord. Here's another 10-plus yard play. I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, the only thing that's keeping them below 10 is those incompletions, because between Jamison Williams' incredible reverse jet sweep and Terry McLaurin's screen pass that went 59 yards for a touchdown, they single-handedly brought everything up to like 7 on the average, just those two guys. I mean, I'm almost out of drink. I mean, this has been, that's how long of a quarter this has been. Is that I'm like getting scraps at this point. I mean, I was almost out when the second quarter started. 1st and 10. I haven't put my headphones back on because I'm warm right now. My ears are warm. It's just the excitement. So if you're wondering, like, if I'm too loud or too quiet, let me know, because I don't have my headphones in right now. You currently see Kevin Burkhardt alongside Tom Brady. If you're not a big fan of the 7-time Super Bowl champion, which I know not a lot of people are, you can come over here and listen to me. As for Kevin Burkhardt, a lot of respect for the man. He sat alongside one of the best in Greg Olsen. May he rest in peace. Anyway, you guys can go ahead and come over here. A lot of respect for Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady. Yeah, we'll see. If you don't like them, come on over here. Listen to me commentate on any games that they're also commentating on. Great. Got that over with. 31-21, 35 seconds to go. Goff under pressure, throws deep over the mid. It's intercepted. Goff, go down. Mike Sonra-Steele is still on his feet. Sam Laporta trying to drag him down from his jersey, but he will not succeed. And the Commanders with an interception. And Goff has his second. And quite frankly, Goff might have cost them this game. The Commanders, looks like they got time to me. The way they've been playing, they got time. Time's not a concern. 2 timeouts, 24 seconds, they got plenty of time. It's like the Chiefs all over again. They have time. They're going to kneel, though. I can already tell that. I'm like, they're just going to take it at halftime with 10-point lead. I mean, great job by Mike Sonra-Steele. Great hands. Time to bring Teddy back. Yeah. If that jersey wasn't so strong, he may have brought it back. And there is the knee. We're going to halftime with 52 points scored in the first half. Most games, this is a complete ball game. Like, this game's completed. Like, this should be the end of the game. This should be final score right now. 31-21, most games in the regular season, that was the final score. Not today. We still have a whole nother half of football left to be played. Stick around for the second half. Signing off here on the first half. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get something to drink, and then I'm coming right back because I'm not missing a second of this football game. We're here for it. Thank you guys so much if you've stuck around through this exhilarating first half. I'll catch you guys as soon as I'm done making my drink, basically. I'll come right back because this game has been so exciting. I haven't gotten a chance to talk about the national championship, the upcoming divisional round weekends. I got stuff for days to talk about over here at this point. And with all the scores, I'm not going to get a chance to do it any other time but halftime. So you're getting your very own halftime show for the first time right after a minute. But I'm taking a little commercial break. I'll be right back in a moment. Crossing fingers for 60-60 overtime. We're ready. We're here for it as long as it lasts. I might not get any sleep tonight because I'm not used to doing it on Saturday and I wake up early on Sundays. So I'll be like, I'm just going to stay up. I'm already here for overtime, All right. Thank you guys so much for watching the first half. I'll be back in the second half right back after this, after halftime. I'll come back for a halftime show in a little bit. Bye-bye. How we doing? Welcome back to the Exponential. I'm your host, RSquared. You may also call me Kyle, although I don't really care for it, so you don't have to do that. It's been a game so far, folks. I'm still pumped up after that sequence where we saw essentially an infinite amount of scoring in the span of essentially no time. Like 10 minutes, we saw 42 points. Yeah, 42 points in that time span. Absolutely incredible. I mean, what a half, I will say. I mean, I'm gonna I understand my roommates not necessarily saying they wanted to stay up with me because it's late here, but I'm gonna rub this in their face so bad, like, you should have stayed up. You should have. It was the best game ever. This has already been fantastic. By all means, I mean, Jaden Daniels, 14 of 21 for 242 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff, 11 of 17 for 150 yards, a touchdown, and an INT on top of that. So, yeah, he's not doing. Yeah, he's not having the game we wanted him to have. If you're a Lions fan, you're incredibly disappointed in what Detroit has put together so far. Jahmyr Gibbs, 96 yards on the ground. He's had himself a great game. He's on track for about 200 yards at the end of this one, but Goff has been inaccurate. He's made mistakes, and you can't have that happening. He's also a little dented up, so you're going to want to get him checked up in the locker room a little, make sure he's good to go in the second half. You don't want to see him making the mistakes that he made in the first half. That again in the second half. Detroit wants to stay in this game. They're down by 10, which, I mean, I know it seemed like a crazy series of events that's led up to this, but Detroit still has what it takes to win this game. They just have to return back to their offensive form, and that requires Jared Goff to not make those interception mistakes. If he hadn't made those mistakes, we might be looking at a tie game at 24 apiece. Everything, how you get that? Take away the pick six, 24. Take away that interception at the end of the half, at least a field goal, 24-24. I mean, it would be those are going to what's putting them behind at this point is the turnovers. You got to eliminate those if you're Goff. If you're Dan Campbell, you're going into the locker room and say, be careful. You're going to tell your quarterback, he's like, you're doing great. Don't worry about it, but you have to be careful. If you're Dan Campbell, you have to go in there, tell Jared Goff, you got to go, hey, man, you're doing a really great job. Like, this is what I would do, which is what I think you should do. I would be like, you're doing a great job out there, man. You're not doing that badly. It's my best Dan Campbell voice. You're not doing that badly out there, Jared. But you know what you're going to have to do? So you're going to have to be safer with the ball. All right? I don't want to see any more of those turnovers. You might cost us this game if you do any more of those, so you be careful, all right? All right, Coach. Thank you, Coach. The normal. I mean, it fantastic first half, really. Wow. All right, let's do some previewing before we get too far out of hand. The Ravens are taking on the Buffalo Bills tomorrow. That's right, tomorrow at the nightcap. I should go in order. Be careful and be safe. He doesn't know what those mean. You're right. I should go in order. So tomorrow afternoon, the Los Angeles Rams head on the road against a very dangerous Philadelphia Eagles team. Last time these two teams met, Philadelphia simply ran through them, with Saquon Barkley having about 200 yards in that game, contributing to his 2,000 yards a season pretty heavily. So thank you to the Rams from Saquon Barkley. Of course, Barkley plans on having a big day after Jared Verse and Sean McVay basically went out of their way to insult Eagles fans. I got to admit, people from Philadelphia, not the greatest people. People that are Eagles fans, a lot of respect for them. So although not a lot of people like Eagles fans, I knew an Eagles fan once he passed away last year. He was a really great person. He was in one of my first fantasy leagues when I started getting into sports. So I do owe him quite a bit for that. So, yeah, appreciate him. So that's why I've always loved the Eagles more as an organization because of him. So he got to see the Eagles win the Super Bowl the first time with Nick Foles. And it would be great to honor him to see Philadelphia win it again. So I'm taking the Eagles. Taking the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Los Angeles Rams by a score of, let's go with 31-14. Yeah, The Rams don't manage to get anything going. The Eagles have a tough defense. Sure, Stafford's very accurate. He's very much on target, but he doesn't find a way. Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to strangle him. And Jalen Hurts is just going to basically hand the ball off. Saquon Barkley's going to have the same game as he normally does. He's going to rush for about 100 yards, get the touchdown as well. Get a couple. You know what? Give him 2 touchdowns. Give him 2 touchdowns. Give Jalen Hurts 2 touchdowns and call it a day. Hurts, one of them is going to be a tush push. So that's my prediction. There's 1 tush push, 2 Barkley touchdowns, and a touchdown to A.J. Brown at the back of the end zone. That's the vote. 31-14. I'll go with you. 31-17. We'll go 31-17. We'll say Kyron Williams gives them a little life, gets them a touchdown, and then Stafford delivers on a touchdown himself. Stafford doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes, but he doesn't have to. The Eagles' defense pretty much shuts him down, picks up the win. Eagles move on to the NFC Championship game to face the winner of this one. In the AFC Divisional finale, we saw the Chiefs beat the Texans earlier today. We have the Ravens and the Bills tomorrow night. You see, as much as I would like to say that the Bills are the team that's going to win this one, I don't want to. I'm a Dolphins fan. I don't want to. I don't want to see the Bills beat the Ravens in this one. Another reason why I don't want to see that is because, with all due respect to the Bills as an organization, the Chiefs own them. They own them, period. You can say, oh, Josh Allen's beaten Patrick Mahomes 3 times in the regular season. Okay, he's 3-1 in the regular season. I don't care what anyone says. Josh Allen can beat Patrick Mahomes. What's Josh Allen's record in the postseason against Patrick Mahomes? Just stare at them for a really long time. He's 0-3. And how many times in Josh Allen's career has he lost in the playoffs to a quarterback that's not Patrick Mahomes? Once. Ain't that funny? That's funny. Just shove that back in their face. You haven't beaten Mahomes in the playoffs. What makes me believe that you can start now? As for Lamar, I think this is a really good Ravens team. And the way the Chiefs played against Houston, I believe that Baltimore has the best chance to beat How is that thing still running? The Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm taking Baltimore to win. It's going to be a great game. 41-38, game-winning field goal. Justin Tucker, 57 yards. Baltimore wins. Who's the only quarterback that Mahomes hasn't lost to in the playoffs since Brady? The guy they lost to now. I want the Bills to win, and I think they will. 42-39, another 39. Yeah, I mean, we're close. I just don't think Buffalo has a chance. If Buffalo goes into Kansas City, hostile environment, Kansas City, in a place that they've lost to 3 times in the playoffs, I just do not see Buffalo pulling out with a win in that one. So if we don't want to see Kansas City in the Super Bowl, we got to have to roll with the Ravens. So I'm rolling with Ravens and Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And I know who I was rooting for coming into the week, which was Texans, Commanders, Eagles, and then Ravens. Honestly, my dream Super Bowl at this point, Eagles-Ravens. I think that would be a great Super Bowl. So I'm sorry. I know, Pepper, you already said it. I don't like the Eagles. Yeah, but I kind of want the Eagles to make it in. It would be fun. I would purchase a jersey. I'll purchase some item of merchandise for one of the 2 teams that makes it to the Super Bowl, and I'll wear it on Super Bowl Sunday. Just to show some support for any of the teams playing since the Dolphins aren't around anymore. Brian Robinson on the first play of the half. Oh, that's right. The game came back. I forgot to mention. Brian Robinson right up the middle for a simple gain of 14 yards, just as he's been doing all day long. Brian Robinson's been efficient. I'm sorry. 49 yards on 6 carries. I mean, he's been pretty good. Very satisfying sound. Just shaking of water. All right, here we go. 31-21 Commanders lead. Jaden Daniels keeps it himself. He's dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. Good play by Brian Branch. Second down coming up for Washington. Loss of 3-2 on the play. Cliff Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator for Washington. Read a great article on Kingsbury last week speaking about how his vacation after getting fired from the Arizona Cardinals was pretty depressing, and he doesn't clearly know how to take a vacation. And so his brother got him a job at USC. 2 years later, he's staring down the Detroit Lions in the NFC Divisional round. Jaden Daniels blitzed heavily by Jack Campbell. He somehow gets back to the line of scrimmage in a Houdini play, gets about a yard. Eagle rhymes with evil. I really don't think it does. Eagle and evil. Big hit. I'd like to see either of these two tonight. And Bills or Chiefs, Rams, Ravens are great too. Really, anyone. I mean, the fans of Philadelphia can be a little rowdy. I'll give them that. But there's some Eagles fans that I really like. I'm a big fan of you. Oh, that's why. I forgot about that, honestly. No, I mean, you can't blame the Packers. You guys had like guys from the supermarket out there that were the bagging guys at the supermarket. They were over there. You're just throwing at them, and they'll be like, try and catch it with their bag instead of with the hands. Like they didn't stand a chance. I feel bad for them. I like them. Yeah, I mean, it was a cool story. So 4th and 11 coming up after the deep throw to De'Ami Brown fell incomplete. I got distracted. So I'm great at this. 4th and 11. Never really liked the Eagles. Yeah. Cowboys fan. The punt. I don't know who the punter is. I'll let you know in a minute. And will be beautiful punt, though. Incredible bounce taken for the Commanders to keep it in bounds and down them at the 7-yard line. They're going to say the 9-yard line. Whatever. Be cheap. And that's where Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions offense will take over. We finally saw a team punt. Tress Way is the punter. So we'll finally see a punt. Let's see. How many drives has it been since the last punt? So you know that first drive of the game. That was the last punt. Man, neither of the Dans know they're punters either. Who are you? I'm the punter. No. Yeah. No. I'm pretty sure you're the backup quarterback. What do you mean? You're the guy that throws the ball on 4th down. Yeah, that's me. You're the guy that throws the ball on 4th. So the last punt in this game so isn't that funny? Both punts in this game happened on the first drive of the halves. Are we set up for a really good 4th quarter, just like a really good 2nd quarter? Are we going to I'm expecting 7 points from the Lions and 3 points from the Commanders in this one. And then we're going to see both teams go absolutely insane again in the 4th quarter? Maybe. Meanwhile, that finally calmed down. I'm like downstairs getting a drink. Like, whew. Like it's that was a good quarter. It's like people like from the neighbors downstairs. They were probably like they're knocking on the door. I just didn't hear them because all they heard was that was crazy. They were just hearing me downstairs. Wow. Like, what's going on in there? He makes so much noise. Who is he rooting for even? I'm not rooting for anyone, Bob. I'm just watching the game. What's quieter? That's what it would sound like if I were in the U.S., but in Europe, depends where in Europe. I'm not going to reveal, but French would be like, what are you doing? Stop making so much noise. Both these teams already have over 300 yards. The Commanders have 325. The Lions have 309. Lions have 9.4 yards per play. That was so fast. That was as fast as I could possibly talk. Fox Sports, am I right? Under center, Amon-Ra St. Brown in motion. Handoff to Montgomery. Montgomery bounces off the first tackle, tries to cut the edge, and he will do so, staying on his feet. I think he got 11 yards on that. Wow, good effort. You know what would be really funny is after saying, wow, Fox Sports, am I right? Like picturing myself 10 years from now working at Fox Sports. Third string broadcaster at Fox Sports. Nice to meet you. Oops. He's get interviewed. Did you say Fox Sports, am I right, when you were a kid? Maybe. For the record, I said that about a lot of things. That bounced short of Sam Laporta on the rollout. The Super Bowl, February 9th. We're looking forward to it. I'm hyped up for it. I'm sure I'll post a little video or two, maybe a couple of shorts, just to keep you all entertained. But there will not be a commentary because I'm going to be partying, because that's what you do on Super Bowl Sunday. It's the greatest celebration of the year other than birthdays and Christmas and Easter. Yeah, I mean, it still beats Halloween, 4th of July. Honestly, might even beat birthday. And that's a first, and no, that's 7 yards. I don't know what I'm saying. 7 yards there. And the downstairs neighbor smacks the ceiling with the room too. I'm not. No, it's okay. I can pretend that, everyone around's British. Be like, they hate the French. It's fine. I can say whatever I want about them. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people hate the French. I mean, Americans, yeah, we hate the French. Brits, yeah, we hate the French. And then you have Spaniards. We just don't want to be sharing a mountain range with them. Portuguese, just don't mess with us, Germany, we don't like them. Switzerland's like, those guys. Now, Switzerland's got a grudge. Like, I was surprised when I went to Switzerland, but they were all like, the French. Because, I was in German Switzerland, so obviously they were like, the French are doomed. So, yeah, penalty there on Dan Quinn's Washington. It was a face mask on Dante Fowler. Let's see it. Okay. Kind of looked more like just under the collar. Oh, that's not a face mask. He did not have his face mask. You can put your bicep on his face mask all you want. He was just giving him a hug. It's crazy. I disagree with that call. Both teams have 3 penalties. It's been a very clean game. Not a whole lot of work for Torbert's crew. 1st and 10 handoff, Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs backtracking. Gibbs fighting someone off, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Very impressive. They're going to mark him for a loss of 1. No, but I was saying, I don't mind, friends. It's very nice. The people are, Sonic and Knuckles. Jahmyr Gibbs this season is the first Lion to lead NFL in scrimmage touchdown since 1999. Barry Sanders. David Montgomery, 12-plus rush touchdown in consecutive seasons. This is the first Lion since Barry Sanders. So combined, what do you get? Barry Sanders. Sonic and Knuckles combined into one person was Barry Sanders. 179 yards on the ground for Detroit today, and Jahmyr Gibbs pulled back by his jersey and tackled. They're going to give him back that yard. 3rd and 10 coming up for Detroit. You can't just say Barry Sanders because it sounds like so American, like Barry Sanders. You're from Brooklyn, they're like Barry Sanders. So you have to go Barry Sanders. I'm exhausted at this point. If you're wondering why I'm doing voices and stuff, it's my channel. Producer's like, no, it's not. 3rd and 10. Jared Goff drops back to pass, looks over the middle to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who turns on the Jets and gets the first down. A gain of 19 on the play. The Lions offense still rolling. Goff that was a good throw by Jared there. See if he's dusted off those cobwebs. He put it inside so that Brown would carry that momentum forward. Still alive. Good job by Amon-Ra St. Brown, though. I mean, well placed by Jared Goff, honestly, cutting it inside for him so that when he catched it, he would have already made the full motion. It was actually a really good throw by Jared Goff. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line of Washington. Play action. Goff looks deep. And ends up trying to dump it off short, but he's hit as he throws. So anticlimactic. Incomplete pass. Big storyline ahead of this game was that Amon-Ra St. Brown has yet again dyed his hair Honolulu blue to represent the Lions down their playoff stretch, just as he did last year, because old habits die old habits die hard. Is that how you say it? I'm tired. 4 a.m. Yeah, it's 4 a.m. Jared Goff dumps it off to Jahmyr Gibbs, who stutters and makes a move and gets the first down. Jahmyr Gibbs. How about that? The Lions fans enjoying what they're seeing from Sonic. Yes, I got it. Tired me is still a genius. I'm so humble. It's one of my better features. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should be sitting down. Just gonna click. Get the chair back. I'll sit down until things get more interesting. Things got more interesting. There was no way to call that. I'm sorry. That was insane. Ben Johnson dialing up everything he's got in his trickeration in his playbook. I mean, it was a shovel. Immediately gets interesting. To David Montgomery, who passes it forward to Amon-Ra St. Brown and gets about 20 yards. Exactly 20 yards. Okay, Ben Johnson. You see Aaron Glenn's over there allowing 31 points, losing his almost guaranteed job with the Saints, and Ben Johnson's over here making a show in front of Tom Brady like, hey, how about that Raiders job? Play clock said 0. They say he got it off, and Gibbs is nailed by all angles. That hurt. Frankie Louvu made the finishing blow on Gibbs. Where's that Falcons bag at? I didn't see it. So, here's the Falcons. They just hired Jeff Ulbrich to be their next defensive coordinator, which is why I wanted it up. You can see the top of it. It's fine. The Steelers one's there as well. I'm not sure. I'm standing in front of it, though. Like, you can kind of see it. Yeah, there it is. It's just blocked by my microphone and me. Hand off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs pushes forward. He's a blue blur. Touchdown, Jahmyr Gibbs. We're back to scoring. And the lights are flashing here in Ford Field as the Lions score again. Detroit not quite dead yet. I mean, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. We can see that right here perfectly. And the Commanders lead with this extra point. Kick faster. With this extra point is down to a 3-point lead. Commanders on offense next. But suddenly the pressure is on the other team. Jahmyr Gibbs rolling 2 touchdowns. (31-28) Commanders hold the lead. 6:57 to go here in the third quarter. Jaden Daniels 14-22 in this one as he takes the offense yet again. He's got 242 yards passing and 2 touchdowns alongside it. But Jahmyr Gibbs has been the highlight of this Lions offense so far. I mean, he's got 103 yards on the ground as well as some receiving as well. He's got 49 receiving. Fourth quarter, the game of the I think so. I'm not sure what the rules are about game of the years happening in the postseason. So, like in the awards thing, they have a game of the year, but I'm not sure if this one counts because it's a postseason game. I don't think they counted the Buffalo Kansas City divisional round thriller when that happened. Did they? No, I don't think they did. I think they counted some other regular season game. So I'm not sure this one's going to count, even though it should, because this one has been quite the game. I'm going to try to get the words while we're in this third quarter. I know I've done 2 because I got one accidentally. I said it and then went, wait, isn't that one of the words? Let's see if I can find it. Man, you guys type a lot. Just got to scroll all the way down there. Yeah, I've got supermarket and obsolete. That's pretty much it. I'm not great at this. Like, you guys type so much. I mean, I'm grateful for it, but but I can't find it. How far back did we start this? It's been 2 hours and 25 minutes, y'all. Thank you so much for sticking around this long. So we talked about the divisional playoffs. Nope, never mind. I ran out of time. I was about to go to the national championship. The game's like come back right as I'm about to do it. I saw the like Fox robot thing. Like, what do you even call the We Are Fox Sports? You know that guy. 31-28, 6:57 to go here in the third quarter. Jaden Daniels taking the field for the Washington Commanders, up by 3 here in Detroit, Michigan. Funny story. Approximately 4 years ago, I was not completely sure where Detroit was because the Lions were basically irrelevant. Gonna admit it. Yeah, that's how bad the Lions were, is that I wasn't quite sure where Detroit was until 4 years ago. I knew it was in that area, but about 4 years ago, I was like, where's Detroit? Like, it's in Michigan. Like, it is? Yes. I just didn't. I never put it together. Jaden Daniels versus the Blitz today has been very good. He's gotten the ball out in less than a second most days. His average is 1.2 seconds before the pass. And heavy pressure. We just saw someone fly, essentially. We just saw a defender soar for the Lions as he tried to block the pass that never came. He broke a rib on that one. I mean, just flopping so hard on the floor there. Ouch. Yeah, that didn't work. Jaden Daniels only got a yard on the ground, so good job by him still stuffing the play. It was Brian Branch who took a bit of a shot from the turf. 2nd and 9. De'Ami Brown in motion. Lions showing pressure, they blitz. Daniels rolling to his right, showing off his athletic speed. Jaden Daniels goes forward for a gain of 15 on the play on Washington Commanders' first down. Great job by Jaden Daniels extending the play as per usual. He did a fantastic job there of just getting out of the pocket. He senses the pressure. He wanted a quick pass, but instead he says, I'm going to do it myself. That's one of the more Lamar Jackson-esque things that we've seen from him. Commanders lead by 3, but no lead's a sure lead here in Detroit, as we've seen throughout the entire quarter. There was an injury timeout for Melifonwu, who I believe missed most of the year with an injury. And he walks off with a bit of a limp for the Detroit Lions, stopping the clock at 5:59 to go. See Brian Branch also getting tended to. So 2 injuries for the Lions. We'll see what's up with Brian Branch and Melifonwu as well. How is that still running? That's concerning. It's that ghost again. See, Brian Branch just rolling up his sleeves. Not sure what happened. They're calling him to the bench. I have no idea what's going on with Brian Branch. He's just rolling up his pants sleeves. Might have had an equipment issue. Yeah, so I have the dryer running right now, which is really... which is because I ran out of clothes, which is why, if, in all honesty, I just didn't know. I just didn't know I didn't have any more clothes. So I went to check earlier before the game started. I'm like, do I have anything blue? Have anything red? No? I'm going to wear a black polo then. Jaden Daniels just got decked. Meanwhile, he wasn't even holding the ball. That's not going to be an unnecessary roughness penalty there. I can already feel it coming. Just boom. I heard the bell in his head after that hit. Yeah, I mean, totally. I mean, he genuinely thought he had him, but Daniels just gets decked by Pascal. So yeah, anyway, I put my clothes in the dryer about 3 hours ago, and it still's not done. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Might check it out during one of the commercial breaks. Like, why are you still running? It's dry. you know. Very confused because I'm hearing it, so it's still on. I'm not entirely sure why. 1st and 10 coming up for Washington after the Brian Robinson run and the unnecessary roughness on the latter half of that one. 1st and 10. Daniels trying to get the play across to his lineman. Play clock's at 12. Crowd noise getting to him a little bit, it seems. Hasn't really had a huge effect on the game thus far. Hand off to Brian Robinson. Basically the exact same play. He'll slip away for a gain of 7. First down. Not dry enough. My dryer isn't. It's not dry enough. Yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels just took a shot. He had to take out. See Jaden Daniels' face like, dude, what are you doing? He just, I mean, I don't think I've seen a quarterback that's such a Lamar Jackson trait, getting hit when you don't have the ball just because someone knows how dangerous you are. Like they expect you to lateral it to you. So you have to be on the ground. It's going to be 3rd and short coming up after the short run by Brian Robinson Jr., who's had a nice day, 9 carries for 63 yards and a touchdown. Cup's in my way. I need information. 3rd and 1. Handoff again to Robinson. He's gonna get there, but only barely, but I think he had it. They are going to give him the first down. So the Commanders are at the Detroit 24-yard line. They're still driving forward, and the Commanders are threatening to score yet again. You know, it would be great if the Commanders got a field goal, sends us to the 4th quarter, and we have another 2nd quarter. It's like exact same game. Perfect. You know, it's one of those things that analysts look at, and if the score ends up the exact same in both halves and everything goes perfectly, they just look at it. Oh, it's beautiful. And it's a screen pass to De'Ami Brown. It's a fumble. What happened there? Well, anyway, it's going to be a 2nd and about 7. I honestly don't know what happened. It is a fumble. And they're calling it a loss of 1. All right. Mild confusion, sorry. So you're going, what? 2nd and 11. Austin Eckler in motion. He'll fake the handoff to Eckler, and then he'll dump it off to him. Eckler makes one man miss and trucks through another. Good effort, gets about 6. I would imagine 3rd and 5 coming up. I actually should be saving my voice, though. I can already feel it. Like, until the game gets more excited, I should probably save my voice, yeah. 3rd and 6. Austin Eckler in motion out of the backfield. Olamide Zacchaeus is who I'm looking for on this one, and he dumps it underneath, and it's not going to get there. He's still on his feet. Wait, excuse me? First down, Washington. His knee never touched the ground, and the Commanders are going to get the first down with no argument from the officials. Until it gets exciting, we still have time. The 4th quarter hasn't started yet. I still want the perfect game to happen. The analytical perfect game. So I'm rooting for the Lions to get a stop here. Oh, Brian Branch is injured. See what happened here. Let's see. He's down. His quad's down. That's coming back. It doesn't matter. If the quad is down, I think he's out there. Yeah. So that's going to be 4th and 2. Kick the field goal. Come on, make it a perfect game. All right, 4th quarter. We need another 42-point 4th quarter. Send it to overtime, and then things get decided from there. Except, yeah, I mean, we could kind of reverse the script a little. so that the Lions get the majority of the points so that it does go to overtime. We just need the same numbers just to look satisfying. 7-3, 14-28, and then 7-3, 28-14, you know. Make it look nice. So the Commanders will await the call, but I'm pretty sure that he is going to be short. I'm 99% certain that almost his entire left backside was on the ground. Like, I would say it was just below the backside area. So I would say it was quad, but I think that's still down. Because if they count the shin as down, I believe that's also down, and he was compacted. So I do not believe that'll go for a first down, which will bring up 4th and very short. It's not even open. It's got one of those latches. I click it, and I'm like, what? They're going to go for it because it's 4th and short. I mean, they're going to go for it, but I want the field goal just for the perfect game. All right, let's do a quick preview of the College Football National Championship sponsored by AT&T. It's this Monday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Who's excited? I'm very excited. I mean, I'm not going to watch it because it's late. And I can't actually watch it. I'll be watching the Gamecast because, you know, ESPN's annoying mostly. But it's going to be a very thrilling game. I'm rooting for Notre Dame in this one. I think it would be incredible. It would be such a good statement, honestly, to see Notre Dame be able to win this one. It would be fantastic. I'm rooting for the Fighting Irish to fight their way to a very Irish-like victory and have Riley Leonard. I have Riley Leonard here. Yeah, he's going to throw for 2 touchdowns. He's going to run for 1. And Jeremiah Love's going to have a touchdown on top of that. So I have the Notre Dame Fighting Irish scoring 34 points. Yeah, 34. That's what I decided on before the game. 34 points. As for Ohio State, Jeremiah Smith's going to catch 2 touchdowns, but Ohio State's going to fail to establish the run. Sure, I expect Emeka Egbuka to have a big game. I also expect him to grab a touchdown, and I have Will Howard rushing for a touchdown himself. I have the final score being 34-28. Will Howard throws a game-sealing interception that leads to Notre Dame's victory and the crown of the national championship of the first 12-team format. 4th and 2. It's play action. Daniels has so much space and a Washington first down. On the naked bootleg, he'll get the first down on a gain of 3. That was a very good prediction, national championship prediction. Notre Dame 34, Ohio State 28. I think the Fighting Irish have what it takes. Such a great story, too. I mean, we're all rooting for the Fighting Irish, let's be honest. First and 10 coming up for the Washington Commanders. From the 13-yard line of Detroit, Austin Eckler in motion. Eckler gets the jet sweep as he comes back in motion the other direction. Good cut, gets about 6 yards. He'll be shy of the first down by about 4 yards on the play. They're going to call it 2nd and 3 from the 6. 52 seconds to go here in the third quarter. They have to run one more snap. Daniels has 250 yards in the game, 257 total, almost 300 yards. He's had himself a great game. If the Commanders can score here before the end of the third quarter, it would be great. Just to see the score rack up. And that's a handoff to Austin Eckler. He won't even get the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1.5, I would say. I would say 3rd and 2. A little bit of pushing and shoving between Eckler and Alex Anzalone at the end of that one. And Dan Quinn will take it into the fourth quarter. 3 quarters of football completed. Only 1 remains. Washington Commanders lead by 3. They're at the Detroit 5. Only 1 quarter stands in the way of these 2 teams punching a ticket to the NFC Championship game and potentially a ticket to the Super Bowl. One's coming. Forget which one. I've seen quite a few. I'm fairly well educated. I have something in my throat, don't worry. It sounds much more epic commentating this way anyway. It's like I can feel when there's something rising in my throat so I can sound cool. I'm one of those people who, like, when they feel like any sort of thing in their throat, it's like, I am Sir Maximilian. I can do that one naturally, but if there's actually something in my throat, you can tell it's like, I am inevitable, you know. Thanos, I am inevitable. Along the lines of that. Nah, my voice is funny like that. Like if I find a way to have a voice that's different from my own, I'll do it. Because my actual voice, I don't like it. Because like you'll notice that sometimes when I'm commentating, when I'm actually like trying to do my job, it's like I go Kevin Harlan on you, like, hello everybody and welcome back to Miami Gardens, Florida, as the Miami Dolphins gets it. Like that's the voice I normally use just for fun. You know, and it sounds good. You know, like no one can say that it doesn't sound good. If I use this one, it's most likely because I'm trying to talk to people, try to be friendly. But like my voice without trying sounds like this. It's very boring. Like you probably can't tell the difference, but this voice doesn't take a lot of air from me. It's just what I normally sound like. So like even when I'm talking to just like even my friends, I don't talk like this. Like, they don't know the voice that takes no energy. Because most of the time, using my voice does take a lot of energy. So that's one of the things they don't tell you about commentating is that, you know, it's hard to talk for 3.5 hours. It's a very special skill set because some people get a sore throat like very easily. They lose their voice very easily. I'm not one of those people. I can keep my voice through this stuff and still be fine tomorrow. I'm also very aware of when I can sense that it's happening. So like earlier when I was yelling, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, oh no, I feel something in my throat. I'm still kind of feeling it a little now, but it just means I have to keep drinking. But like my actual voice is very soft. Okay? It's not very loud. I have to enunciate a little more if I'm trying. Jaden Daniels passed to Zach Ertz on 3rd and 2. He's stumped. Hello, Terrion Arnold. And it's 4th down again. 4th and 2. What's the call here if you're Dan Quinn? You've gotten lucky a few times. Do you just keep pushing your luck here in the 4th quarter? Very, very good job by Terrion Arnold. Tackle in the open field. Fantastic job. And this higher pitched voice that I do, like this one when I try to like talk loud, not my voice. This is not my real voice is much like chill. Like you can't tell when I'm not using effort. I have a lot of voices. So there's a flag. Commanders are pointing at the Lions on this one. We'll see what the call is here. Hello, Ron Turber? What happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh! Oh! I don't know what they're talking about. First and goal for the Commanders. Expect a handoff, so they get bailed out again. I mean, this is kind of crazy. Brian Robinson, 1 yard. He's almost in. Is he in? He's just shy of the end zone. Yeah, that was a rough call. They had too many men on the field. I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. No. Yeah, he's shy by about half a yard. Expect Jaden Daniels to fall forward here. That's my expert prediction. Jaden Daniels just kind of like burrow his way into the end zone. Oh no, he's in shotgun. Never mind. I have no idea what could happen here. Handoff. Robinson's into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. And the 4th quarter is off to the start we had hoped for. The Commanders take a 10-point lead. Well, 9-point lead, pending the extra point. 4th quarter! Yes! We're ready for it. Incredible job by Brian Robinson pushing forward there. Good play call. I was expecting Jaden Daniels to just, take it. But Brian Robinson's had a good game. He's done a really great job running the ball. So might as well just give him the touchdown, Here we go. Extra point from Zane Gonzalez on the way. Kicks up, and it's right down the middle yet again. 38-28. How about those Commanders? I mean, I got to say, it's been a game. It's been high scoring. It's been thrilling, and it's about to be a crazy final quarter. I can tell. Dan Campbell shakes his head on the sideline as he sees his hopes and dreams slowly fade. Lions offense coming up next. Very dramatic. Ugh. Another thing they don't really mention is how much headphones hurt after 3 hours. Most commentators, they have like drink breaks. They have like food next to them, just in case, like, they get hungry during commercial. They can just, okay, we're good. They take a drink, keep them settled. Like I read a story once from a guy who's like, yeah, I know a guy who commentated and he ate an entire burger on broadcast without anybody knowing because he just had it off to the side during the commercial break. He would take one bite and he was finished by halftime. By halftime, every commercial till halftime, just one bite. I don't have the resources to do that because I don't have a commercial. So that's great. I don't mind just talking during this time. Obviously, it's harder on the voice, and for the job, it's just talk. It's just hard. It's just harder in general to be able to hold something like this up and be entertaining at the same time. So like in an actual broadcast, I would just be commentating on the game. But since, I'm actually here participating with the live chat with you guys, and also just trying to stay interesting during the time I got to find time to fill the space. It's a little bit of an extra work, but I think it's worth it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be here. So obviously, when this goes on the resume, they're going to overlook this, but I'm having a lot of fun doing this. This is something I love doing, just commentating, sitting here, toughing it out, even if it's a bad game, which it's not by any means, but this is what I love doing. So at this point, it's more about the experience of being here commentating. So I'm glad there's people that enjoy it, because otherwise I would just, like, if there was nobody watching right now, like I've done this before, like on past ones, you can check, like if there's nobody there, like I see 0 on the viewer count, I'll just like sit there being quiet, take a drink, and just wait until the commentary starts, because that's ultimately, that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's good for the resume, but I'm really glad you guys are here. It makes my job a lot more fun, because, sports is always better with friends. You know what they say. Just in general, when you're watching with a friend, it's a good time. Some of the stuff I want to hear my friends say, they text me during games and stuff. I'm like, this is great. Like, imagine if we had a watch party just us, and we have a great time. Like, that would be amazing. So I don't really have that liberty being locationally independent like we are. You don't really know about that, but we're not really in a location where we could see a whole lot of people on a constant basis that actually enjoy American football. So this is really great for me, and be able to be here and hang out with you guys means a lot. Washington Commanders, last time they made the Super Bowl was 1991. Since then, an error has occurred. There are 0 NFC championships, 0-3 in the divisional round, 12 head coaches, and 36 starting quarterbacks. Hasn't even been 36 years. Not sure how often I use my real voice. Film a lot of YouTube videos. Not sure how the real one is. I used to get compliments for me. Film my own exercise. No, yeah. Voices, like, it's a talent, we're seeing longtime Commanders fans meeting up there. But the power to use your voice is a gift. Like, to be able to spread that joy to other people. Like, my voice might not necessarily be as deep as some, it might not be as high pitched as some people may not enjoy it. The point is that some people really like listening to me. Like, some people actually like listening to me yammer. Great play by Tim Patrick, toughing it out, getting a huge gain of 22 on the play. But like, it's a gift. You got to train it. Like, just having the gift isn't necessarily enough. Like, just having the talent to be able to say that I stand up and I do comedy, or to say that I'm funny enough to to do a comedy show or to say that I know enough about sports to do one of these. Doesn't mean that you're putting in the work for it. That's kind of the point of this, is that I'm putting in the work to enhance my talent to a different level. Like, I know I can, some people say I have a good voice. I don't like my own voice. Another trickery. Jamison Williams is throwing. He's throwing to Jahmyr Gibbs. It's intercepted. No! Mike Sanders steal. And it's been turned on its head. Ben Johnson's play calling has been turned against him. I was telling a story. All right, here's Tolbert with the call. We'll see what he says. Ineligible man downfield on the offense. The penalty is declined. First down, Washington. Oh, man. And the Commanders are taking over with a chance to go up 45-28 and potentially seal this game. It's trickery gone wrong. Detroit got a little too cute. Not the first time we've seen it, and I'm sure it won't be the last. A little prediction for you. Detroit, that was too cute for this point in the game. In my opinion, that was a mistake by Ben Johnson. I get it. That's what he does. He dials up trick plays. This is not the time. You're down by 10 points. You have 12 minutes. You do not have to be dialing up trick plays. You need effective movement down the field. You have to be able to actually move the ball. You can't be taking risks like that. Like, that's why Jared Goff has 2 interceptions, because he tried to be a superhero 2 of the times, dropping the ball 50 yards downfield, trying to make a play. And then this time they got a little too cute. They used some trickery. It didn't work out for them. They have to go back to what they know. Hand the ball off as far as I care. But, you got to get the ball. Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, just be constant middle-ranged passes. Get the first down. You don't need to score every single play. And that's ultimately what's doomed this Detroit Lions team on these 3 interceptions that they've thrown at this point. You got to stop. You're giving the Commanders the win, because ultimately, if the Commanders score here without the turnovers, this game's a tie. Because as I said, the Lions would have probably had a field goal on that one. It would have been 31-31. If the Commanders score here, the game's over, and it comes down to those turnovers and those mistakes that Ben Johnson made. Because as much as you could say, yeah, they were bad passes from Jared Goff, ultimately the blame falls on the play caller. That one falls on Ben Johnson, that trickery. You can't do that in a big-time moment like this. The Commanders are a good team. Dan Quinn's a good coach. You can't do that. That was such an embarrassing call from Ben Johnson. You can't be trying to dial up deep into your playbook while you're trying to you just got to play the game. Like, sometimes you just, this ain't backyard football. Like, as much as Detroit likes to think it's backyard football, this game ain't backyard football. It's much bigger than that. Washington knows how to play tough, physical football, which is why Washington had a chance to win this game in the first place. And they've put on a defensive clinic. They've done a fantastic job holding one of the top offenses in the league to only 28 points. And I know 28 sounds like a lot, but for the Lions, it's not. This is a Lions team that averages over 40 points per game. They just haven't been there. It's been all Commanders in this one so far. And it's because Detroit has tried to get too tricky. Handoff, Austin Eckler. Eckler punches through the gap. He's on the move and down at the 30-yard line. Defense isn't making that play they need, Pepper. Wow. Austin Eckler, the former Los Angeles Charger, just flipped the field for Washington. Great job by Eckler showing that former Charger in him. He was good in Los Angeles before he had that off year when he got injured, and he's back. It looks like he's back in his original form. I'm liking what I'm seeing. They're literally running. You're correct. They are running away with it. They don't have to do anything right now. They're owning this Lions defense, which is not something that should be said of 2 coordinators who should be getting a head coaching job this cycle. Like, Ben Johnson's, like, that little razzle-dazzle nonsense, that's going to cost him something. There's somebody out there, some executive ownership who saw this and went, that was a terrible play call. Like, why? Just play the game. Like, that's ultimately what I'm saying. Just play the game. They're trying to make it like as crazy and entertaining as possible, trying to mess with their minds. But when you're faced with a physical team like Washington, that's not going to work. Under pressure, Daniels navigating his way over the pocket. He spins out and gets the first down. Jaden Daniels. We saw a little bit of his Heisman look there. I mean, he should be hitting the Heisman even though he's not in college, honestly. I mean, that was an incredible run. I mean, navigating the pocket like that and then the spin move to get the first down. And you see Detroit fans are, I mean, it's painful. It's painful. It really is, because this has been your best year ever, probably. Like, it's been such a good year, and in your first playoff game of the year, it's about to end. Such a depressing thought if you're a Lions fan. You've been waiting so long, and here are the Commanders. That's delay a game. I'm sorry, delay a game. That was a Rookie of the Year move. He definitely hits it right there. Yeah. He's like, what? R-O-T Y. You know, the R is the hard one. It's just R. That's what he should have been doing. Yeah, I'm like, delay a game. So they lose 5, 1st and 15. So he loses the yards from that one, but they did get the new set of downs, so he's all fine with it. Still a Rookie of the Year play there, navigating the pocket and eventually getting the first down. McNichols is the back. Handoff goes to McNichols. Jeremy McNichols will get about 3-4 yards. They're going to give him 3 yards before he's taken down. 2nd and 12 coming up for Washington. 9:38 to go here in the game. Clock is suddenly a factor for this Detroit Lions team. Aiden Hutchinson, the stud defensive lineman for the Detroit Lions, he's had a pretty rough year. I mean, it's really tough to watch your team from the sideline when you know that you could be out there making a difference, making an impact, and having to sit and watch your team in this situation down by 10. 2nd and 12. Daniels under pressure. He gets it off to Ertz, who gets about 9 or 10 yards. They're going to give him, I want to say they're going to give him 9. Yeah, based on the spot, they're giving him 9. Giving him 10. What? Yeah, they're definitely missing Hutchinson. Like, he's getting, Jaden Daniels is, I don't like Cliff Kingsbury. Credit to whoever the credit is due to that's done this. This has been a masterpiece. I'm good. It's been a masterpiece. Yeah, like a Vincent Van Gogh painting. It's been a masterpiece. Jaden Daniels flicks one into Terry McLaurin, who just drops it. Okay, not so scary there, Terry. 4th and 2 coming up. Just kick the field goal. Washington stays on the field. Why not, you know? Up by 10, 8:24. Hey, let's do it. 45-20. They want this game over. You can tell right now, Detroit needs a stop here. But yeah, credit to whoever's done this, because Jaden Daniels has gotten the ball out extraordinarily fast, and he has kept any pressure from rattling him. He's barely gotten hit today by Detroit, who's bringing out all-out blitzes on him. Daniels drops back to pass. Man in his face. Completes for the first down to Terry McLaurin, and he's only a yard shy of the end zone. Anyone else hear that? So I heard a noise. I'm like, what is that? If Washington goes to the Super Bowl, Jaden Daniels is guaranteed MVP. I can tell you right now, there isn't anybody else. If Washington makes the Super Bowl and wins it, he's the only one getting MVP. I mean, it would be historic. Like, since when has there ever been a rookie quarterback? I don't think it's ever happened. Has it? Someone fact check me. I'll fact check myself, actually, after this series of plays. But I don't think there's ever been a rookie quarterback to lead his team to the Super Bowl and win. Play clock was at 1. He gets it off. McNichols is in on the extension. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Commanders, to ice the game, potentially. It feels like an ice to me, personally. Jeremy McNichols. We'll see. Did he get in? Yes. He's in. Touchdown, Commanders. What an effort by this Washington running back unit today. It's been fantastic. Brian Robinson has 2 touchdowns. Jeremy McNichols has a touchdown as well. I mean, it's been an incredible effort all day long for this Washington team. They deserve to win this more than anyone else. I'm so happy for them, honestly. Like, this is such a great story. This is a Commanders team that is heading to the NFC Conference Championship round. Thank you for the fact check. No rookie quarterback has ever made it to the Super Bowl. Jaden Daniels is on the brink of making history. We thought CJ Stroud was going to be the best rookie we've ever seen. But here is someone breaking his records here today. The extra point from Zane Gonzalez. Right down the middle. 45-28. Dan Campbell looks on. Looking a little glassy-eyed there, Dan. And so is mostly everybody in the stands. Commanders lead 45-28. Looking bleak at Ford Field. Yeah, it's not looking good for Detroit, I will say. Sad fans are sad, yeah. Excuse me. Sad fans are sad. We're just gonna ignore the cup. I flat out, I'm like, if it weren't such a good cup, this cup would be gone. I would not be drinking out of this cup if it wasn't a good cup. Just because of what's on it. Like, every time I look at it, I just get depressed. I got a really nice new Dolphins jersey for the next year. We ordered it in case the Dolphins made the playoffs. They didn't, so now I just have a really nice jersey that's going to be hanging there for a while. I knew my season was over after week 2, so I've just been chilling. Honestly, I kind of did too. Because Tua got injured in week 2. So, I mean, after that, it was like, yeah, season's over. Because my thought process was, well, we're going to lose every game until Tua comes back. We did, in fact. I mean, for what it's worth, we went on a good run at the end there. Then Tua got hurt again. We lost 2 straight, and, we didn't stand a chance anyway. But, I mean, it's sad. As to the Saints. The Saints cooked you guys, though. Like, the Saints were actually playing well. Saints did their job. Saints got to work, I gotta say. Guess our season wasn't so bad. Yeah. Oh, you think? It's as bad as losing a quarterback, losing to the Saints. Let's see. Who did the Dolphins lose to? Oh, right. They lost to the Colts, the Cardinals, the Jets. Yeah, you had a bad season. Yes. Yeah, we did. I watched that game. I was considering commentating on it because I'm like, it might be a good game, Tua Tagovailoa, and then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. How badly do I want to depress everybody with a Dolphins fan watching a Dolphins game? I mean, it would literally just be me, like, doing this. Just this would be the entire thing. It's just, there's just me just doing that. Like, no, that was exactly what that game was like, too. It's just me, like, I'm like, this game sucks. I was like, literally me the entire time. I'm like, this game sucks. What am I doing? I almost went to bed. I'm like, if I wasn't a football fan, I would be sleeping. Whoa, cool moon. Go to that Red Cross thing. Yeah. I support the Red Cross organization. I'm not sponsored by them like they are, but, always good to help any community in a time of need. Khalif Raymond in motion. Jared Goff looks to throw. Last hope for the Lions. Wow. Jared Goff dirts it. 2nd and 10. Lions need to score here, otherwise it's a wrap. And as it is, the Commanders, per ESPN Analytics, have a 99.5% chance of victory. To believe that at the beginning of this game, the Lions had a 74.9% chance, just trying to get the line. Like, finally got it. Goff, he just dumps it off to Jahmyr Gibbs, who just put somebody on ice skates, gets the first down, gain of 14. Lions have a 74.9% chance to win this game. And at this point, they have a large margin. They have a 0.9% chance to win currently. It's the Saints were the only really bad team the Cowboys lost. That's true. The Dolphins lost to like 10. Almost all of our losses. I mean, Tennessee. We lost to Tennessee. As much as the talk was about the Dolphins can't beat a team above 500, we beat more teams above 500 than we did below 500 this year. Like, come on. We didn't beat anybody in cold weather. But can you really expect a team that plays in 100-degree weather to go to Green Bay and like negative nothing? It's negative nothing. They can't even measure how cold it is. That's how cold it is. Mike McDaniel's never won a game in a temperature below 4. Actually, wait. Nope, no, he hasn't because the game in Cleveland was 42 degrees. Amon-Ra St. Brown catches it and takes a hit while he's at it. Good catch by the sun god there. Yeah, really great catch by Amon-Ra St. Brown through the hit. There is no temperature here. It's cold. Goff looks to his left. Throws incomplete. Bad throw by Goff. He just seems off. Goff seems off. Isn't that funny? Turnovers today. We saw the fumble. Dorrance Armstrong got that. I honestly forgot about that one so early on. He overthrows Tim Patrick by about half a mile. Gets trucked. And then Goff steps into one. Underthrows Jamison Williams, picked by Mike Seimer-Steele. And then, of course, the Jamison Williams too big for your own britches trick play. And Washington picked that one off as well. Takeaways and points off. They're 4-21. Without any takeaways in this game, the Lions are winning by 4. That's just how big of a deal that the turnover margin can be. And they've done their work pretty well. What just happened? The Lions just spiked the ball. Man, they're trying to win. Good for them, you know. Sam Darnold kidnapped Goff and took his place. He's like peeling his face off. All right, here we go. It's time for some Darnold, you know. Yeah, NFC North teams. It's remarkable that we had 3 blitz coming for Goff. He missed Jahmyr Gibbs, who gets nailed by Martin. I think we just take a moment to recognize that the NFC North teams who finished, wait, one sec. You know what? One sec. Let me check my math real quick. I think I know the number. They finished with a combined record of 40-11. In the 3 NFC North teams that made the playoffs, finished with a combined record of 40-11 in the playoffs. After this game, they have finished a remarkable 0-3. They went 0 for. They had 3 teams in the playoffs, all of which had more than 11 wins, and they went 0 for 3. So the NFC North, the most the elite division this year, has just simply collapsed in the postseason. While the NFC East, the 2 teams representing the East, are like, we are still the beast of the East. So on 4th and 8, the Lions are going to kick a field goal with Jake Bates for a 28-yard field goal. And the kick is up, and it's good. 5 minutes to go. Expecting an onside kick here at Ford Field. Perhaps 2. You never know. I mean, it's been one of those games. And Commanders fans saying, believe. Believe in the power of Dan Quinn and Jaden Daniels. And most importantly, the power of Josh Harris. That guy, I didn't believe it at first, but he's worked a miracle here in Washington. So kudos to him. I mean, fantastic job. NFC North, rest in pieces. Yeah, rest in pieces. I mean, you never know. I mean, we still got 5 minutes. Anything can happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But I mean, going 0 for 3 is by far the best division in football is kind of embarrassing. Sorry to say. I mean, in the AFC, we got exactly what we expected. All the division leaders won. It's like Baltimore won. Yeah, okay. Buffalo won. Yeah, I saw that coming. Houston won. Yeah, all right. I could see that happening. Kansas City beat Houston. Yeah, okay. Are we going to see a 1-2? Like, is it going to go exactly as the playoffs are supposed to? Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. Which the Bills are the 2 seed, which makes sense. So that math makes sense to me. Everything goes perfectly in the AFC. It's like, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. All go into the divisional. 1, 2 go into the conference. 1 goes into the Super Bowl. Like, what? Like, things actually went right. Meanwhile, in the NFC, the Commanders are over here like, let's crash this party. And they're doing a great job, too, as the only wild card team who successfully won a wild card game. Fun fact. When you look back, you're like, wait, huh? You look back and you're like, Washington's the only wild card team who won in the wild card round. And here they are about to make their way to the NFC Conference Championship game. No, you say the NFC had to mess everything up. No, the Commanders had to mess everything up. Specifically them. The NFC didn't do anything. The Vikings choked. The Packers did their job. And the Commanders are over there like, nah. Like, no, we're gonna cruise. We're just gonna cruise. Cruise like a boat, Kickoff from Jake Bates. Oh, it's an onside kick, right? I said that. And they flip the side, and the onside kick is, oh my goodness! It was a beautiful onside kick, honestly, but it's Commanders' ball. So the Commanders do recover it. But a beautiful onside kick by Jake Bates. He got some serious air on that. Zach Ertz. Oh, Ertz. Good hands. That's it. That's good special teams there by Zach Ertz. Good hands. That could have gone very badly. Could you lose? No, I don't think I will. Trying to get everything perfect. NFL is talking to the Commanders like, could you lose, please? No. Went from being the worst in the division, terrible ownership, terrible coaching, to Super Bowl contenders. Correct. And I mean, I didn't believe it. Like when Josh Harris first came in, I'm like, oh, they own it at 76ers. Yeah, I mean, he did good. Like he does good, and like it should be interesting to see what he does. But like when I saw Dan Quinn, I'm like, where is he going with this? Like I know Dan Quinn's a good head coach who can really build a team. I was iffy on the hire because I'm like he can play, like he can coach, like he knows what he's doing. He knew what he was doing in Atlanta, and they made a Super Bowl. We don't talk about that Super Bowl in Atlanta anymore, and Atlanta fans hate Dan Quinn now because of that Super Bowl. But he did a good job building that team and leading them there. So I would not be surprised if the Commanders took a 28-3 lead at halftime of the Super Bowl. Bold prediction. Commanders make the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. Commanders lead 28-3 at halftime. Hey, I've seen this before, Same joke I made earlier with the Chiefs Texans. Wait a minute, I saw this game. No, you didn't. Yeah, I did. I've seen this before. Same thing. 28-3. Commanders the Super Bowl's terrible this year. Commanders are about to walk away with it. Patrick Mahomes has that glint in his eyes. And the glare. Jaden Daniels is the first rookie all time with 300-plus total yards in 2 postseason games. Tonight he has 279 passing yards and 51 rushing yards. And he had himself a good game last week as well in Tampa, where they scored in 1 point. They'll have scored half of what they scored today against the Tampa. Sorry. The odds would still be in case the predictions thing would be like, oh, no, we've seen Dan Quinn do this before. 99.9% in Kansas City's favor. Timeout Washington. So with 4:08 to go, Commanders lead by 14, 3rd and 5 coming up. Dan Quinn wants to seal this one. I don't blame him. I'm just watching the game at this point. I mean, 45-31. It seems like the Commanders have all but locked this one in. And they pretty much can with any points. Cliff Kingsbury has had a great season as the offensive coordinator. I'm not sure I liked him in Arizona, if I'm being honest, but I definitely like him a whole lot more now. He seems to have really gone through quite the transformative journey. Jaden Daniels on third down passing is 5 of 9 for 33 yards and 2 first downs. Here he goes. It's play action. Daniels throws overhead. It's caught by Bates. Like by somebody. And that will all but do it here. I don't think the Lions have anything to keep the Commanders from winning this one. And that's John Bates with what might just be the game's sealing catch. And what a depressing end to the season for the Detroit Lions. I mean, they were the best team by every means, like everything. They were just the best team. Like, you can't deny that. They played a fantastic season. They had a great 2024 campaign. But when you look at this, you start to think, if you're Detroit, was this your best shot? Like, like last year they had a good chance, but this year was always the Lions' year. Like, people were talking about it before the season even started. Oh, the Lions are going to be great this year. But was this really their last chance? Because this very well could be Detroit's last chance at winning the Super Bowl under this leadership. This team is as good as it's been. But they got, like, free agency comes and goes. You're going to lose some key members. Hopefully you can get a few key members to hopefully continue to build up the Lions instead of go in the wrong direction. But after this game, this year it felt like Detroit's year. It's felt like Detroit's year the entire time. Washington plays the incredible role of spoiler in this one. What a fantastic game it's been, especially that second quarter. But if you're Detroit, you do wonder, if you're a Detroit fan, is this it? Like, did we miss it? Which you might have. I mean, it's impossible to tell until we see how the offseason treats the Lions. Like, if they lose key players, it might just be that they've lost, that they've missed their shot at a Super Bowl, which is a sad thought for Lions fans. They've been through so much, and this is the best Lions team they've had, probably, period. Like, this is just the best Lions team. But to come to such an awful, awful close to this one, and I mean, the city of Detroit has, how do I put this? All right, I can do that. I can do words, right? Okay, so here's the funny thing. I intended to use one of your words, Pepper, in that little trip, but scrolling, you've typed so many messages that I actually can't find the words anymore. I can't. Feeling the season didn't have the magic to go. I still said this. I'm feeling a lot. Yeah. No, it's very disappointing to see this happen. To Lions. Yeah, you've told me, I don't know what the words are anymore. I failed. I'm sorry. It was too good of a second quarter, and since then it's kind of been sad for Detroit. So obviously, if you're the Lions, great season comes to a depressing end. So the city of Detroit really has become the pinnacle of sports in this last year. They've been the draft was in Detroit. The Lions, this was their year. Like, everything was just going right for Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's gonna need the frying pan in his next job. I'm just kidding. He's not getting fired. That's the Lions owner just completely rages. It's like in Madden, like rage quit, but an actual owner. You're fired, Last time the Lions were NFL champions, 1957. Perfect. Just keep saying more. I'll try to randomly fit them into metaphors, I'm great at that. 44-yard attempt from Zane Gonzalez to end the Lions' comeback hopes. It's no good. Hey, it ain't over. It ain't over. It ain't over. That could have ended it right there. It's not over. He missed the field goal. Oh, boy. Oh no. Dan Quinn, meanwhile, getting flashbacks from the 28-3 thing. 1991 NFC Championship, Detroit Lions against the Washington, you know what they were called. And the Commanders dominated 41-10 in the 1991 NFC Championship. That was the last time these two teams coincided in the playoffs. I mean, it doesn't happen a whole lot. Jared Goff, under pressure, he's blitzed, and Dorrance Armstrong gets him again. Dorrance Armstrong's had a game. He's got 2 sacks and a forced fumble in this one. The former Dallas Cowboy making life miserable for Detroit as they have to go hurry up here. They don't have any timeouts. 2 minutes down by 14. They're still playing, but the question is for how much longer. Sam Laporta, 2-minute warning. Here in Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan, Commanders lead 45-31. Washington is 1 minute and 57 seconds away from punching a ticket to the NFC Championship game, while Detroit is punching a ticket on the nearest flight to Budapest. Not one of the words, but still funny. Yeah, this is hard to rebound if you're the Lions, because I mean it's been a great season. By all means, it's been fantastic, but this has been ultimately it comes down to the playoffs, and this has been a failure. As disappointing as it is to say, this game has been a failure. This season it's been a great year. You got to give them credit for what they've done, but ultimately they did not reach the goal. Their expectations were Super Bowl. That was the expectation, and they actually have done worse this year than last year. By that logic, they made the NFC Championship game last year. They might have lost, but they still made it, and they didn't show up today. The Lions just did not show up. So absolutely phenomenal performance by Washington. All credit to them, but Detroit, it's going to be hard to rebound from this. This one hurts if you're a Lions fan, and if you're a part of the Lions organization, this one hurts quite a bit. Goff drops back to pass. We see the Commanders all line tripping over themselves, and they dump it off to Gibbs again. Gets about 9 yards. It's going to be 4th and short. No, they're going to give him the first down. They're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Say there's no point anyway. First down, Detroit. Now they're saying it's a first down. Now these guys. Oh, did he throw the challenge flag? Such a Dan Quinn thing to do. What? Did he? No, it's under 2 minutes. No, it's just a booth review. I'm like, no, it's under 2 minutes. Yeah, I was flat out picturing Dan Quinn just. It's like, dude, the game's over. I don't care. He didn't get the first down. Never mind. Yeah, it was a generous spot. I thought he was short. But yeah, it's been a good year from Detroit, but it was a failure. So I'm gonna keep saying it because I mean it's true. Ultimately, this is what you've been through, and they've struggled at this point, and this is not good. Like you can say that it was a great year, which it was, but ultimately, if I'm a Lions fan, I've been through so much pain, so much struggling. They're showing that replay here. I'll check it for you. It's close. He might have had it. It was very tight. Might be too tough to overturn. It doesn't matter. The Lions are going to go for it anyway, even if it's a 4th down. But Detroit just, it's not what you want, you know? Like if you're a fan of any team, especially when you're a fan of a number 1 seed, when you're at the level that you're at, it's just not there for you. And I mean, I didn't predict Detroit winning the Super Bowl. I didn't predict them making the Super Bowl. I had Philadelphia make it. I had Philadelphia-Baltimore from the beginning. But I did expect them. They needed to win this game for the fans. They really did. And this one hurts. This one hurts badly. And I mean, it's going to be there. And who knows? It might fuel the fire. I mean, you never know. Next year, they might come out with a passion and end up winning it all very easily, like just without effort. But they just they just didn't show it today, and it hurts as a Lions fan. Like, I know as a Dolphins fan, if I were the 1 seed, we had 15 wins in the year, and we got first rounded because it was our first game. Like, you get first rounded by a 6 seed, like, that hurts. You're not gonna forget that. I mean, hail to the Commanders. They did great. But as far as Detroit, they have failed to defend the den. So, I mean, it's very disappointing if you're a Lions fan. So they did not give him the first down. It's going to be 4th and 1. Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of teary faces here at Ford Field. And I mean, I understand. I would be too if I were a Lions fan. This is, yeah. I mean, it's not good. Like, they should not have been this comfortable. Jared Goff's gonna take off himself. Gets out of bounds, stops the clock. Doesn't make a whole lot of difference. And it's basically over, which, I mean, very, very disappointing. Like, again, like, I can't stress, like, even the broadcast community, it's very much like we expected the Lions to be great. Like, from the beginning, everyone knew the Lions were going to be a great team this year. They were. But to fail here, it's unacceptable, really, and someone's gonna get punished for it. We don't know who yet, but somebody's gonna have to take the blame for this, because the Commanders, they did play well, but Goff threw 2 interceptions. Ben Johnson was too comfortable. Like, what? He just has to play the game. Like, he didn't play the game. He just decided that he wanted to make it as strange and weird and kooky as possible. That he did too many trick plays. Like, it doesn't work. The benefit of a trick play is that people don't expect it. All right, see ya. Thanks for stopping by. You're not missing much. Honestly, I'm just explaining all the ways that the Lions failed. So have a good one. See you next time. And it'll be the AFC Championship. So Chiefs and somebody. It's going to be at 11 and 6:30. All right. And over the middle to Khalif Raymond, who slides down very quickly, saving time. Minute left. Jahmyr Gibbs gets back to the line. Gibbs enters back into the backfield. Williams gets into position. Goff just hit 300 yards. They run a snap. Amon-Ra St. Brown drops it. It pretty much sums up how this one's been. I mean, it hasn't been pretty. But you see Jamison Williams all the way in the back of the end zone, taking a sweet time to jog back to the line of scrimmage. But like, as I said, like, Ben Johnson, he got too cutesy in this game. You can't do that. Like, the benefit of a trick play is that you're not expecting it. It's tricky. Like, it's supposed to element of, so he's done it. He did it so much in this game that Washington, all they had to do was be physical, play man coverage, and they beat them every single time. Like, every time Ben Johnson says, you know what, I'm going to dial up something cool. The only time that it worked was Jamison Williams' double jet sweep. They got him that one. But that's exactly what happened. When that happens, the other team expects it. The Commanders expected the trick plays. At some point, like, that's what's going through the mind of Dan Quinn, is he said, okay, they're going to try and get tricky with us. We're not going to let them. We're going to play physical football. Like, that's the kind of, they're going to play bad. They did play bad boy football. Like, they did. Like, they played very physically. They won this game in the trenches as far as I'm concerned, even though Jahmyr Gibbs ran all over them. The D-line played physically. Like, they played very, very well. And, I mean, say what you will about how the Commanders played very well. They did, but ultimately the Lions choked this game. So I'm sorry. Like, this game could have been much closer, but the Jamison Williams trick play hurts, because I go back to my point. Without those turnovers, the 2 interceptions from Goff, which was both of which were just Goff trying to be a superhero. Like, he's not a superhero. He can't do everything. Just throw the ball away. And then the other one was Ben Johnson. Like, you just got to play the game. You can't let it come to that. So you just have to be able to play the game as it is. Just dump the ball off if you have to. Don't get all tricky like they did. Like, this is going to be a lesson. Jared Goff just threw his 3rd interception of the day. That's it. 1 kneel down and this game's over. And he threw that straight to the Commanders defender. I'm not even excited at that point. Jeremy Chin with the interception. Jaden Daniels, congratulations to the young rookie. The Washington Commanders are heading to the NFC Championship game. And if it's the Philadelphia Eagles, you have to be confident that you might be able to win. I mean, that's a winnable game for Washington. That's a team you play twice a year. So Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions will be walking away with the game-winning kneel down. Thank you guys so much for watching. As soon as the clock hits 0, I am out of here. And we'll be back for the AFC Championship game next week. Here's the kneel down. Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders are on to the NFC Championship game. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a blast. Second quarter was incredible. 45-31, one of the best games we commentated on all season. First time since 1991, snaps the longest active drought in the NFL to the NFC Championship game. 32 seasons. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the AFC Championship game, 6:30 Eastern, next Sunday, the Chiefs against the winner of the Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. Thank you so much. See you next week or potentially tomorrow. I'll send out an announcement if I am doing it tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Congratulations to the Washington Commanders. Goodbye.